Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda 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 Paramashivoham.
We welcome all the viewers and level 3 participants, Paramashivoham level 3 participants, to today's first session of the Paramashivoham program, which is Kailasa's Nityananda Yoga, where we'll be performing the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, the 308 intense and Kundalini awakening asana sequence, which has been directly gifted and bestowed upon us by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, out of his pure love for humanity. Before we begin this beautiful and powerful sequence, there are a few things that we need to set up. First of which is the Panchapatram and Uddharani, which is the water pot and a spoon, a cup of water and a spoon, to perform the ritualistic cleansing, the Achamana process. As yoga is a ritual, we'll be performing the Achamana before starting the yoga. So you can have a water pot and a spoon to perform the ritualistic cleansing. Next, we request all the viewers to have some sacred ash, basma, on their forehead and the 16 places if possible, or at least on your forehead. Have kumkum on the third eye, and apply turmeric on the temples. And the last request is to all the male bodies to remove your upper cloths, as yoga is ritual. I request all the male bodies to remove your upper cloths. Let's take a few minutes to do this. Yes. Now, let us start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Let's invoke the presence of our beloved Swamiji before we perform this intense sequence of Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama. Let's all sit straight with our head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Bring your hands together in front of the heart center. Close your eyes. Visualize Swamiji. Take a deep breath and let's chant the Sadguru Vandanam. नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Now we'll be chanting the Shivamoola mantra Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha 11 times internally. I'll be chanting it outside so that we can all chant along. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. 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 Now we'll perform the ritualistic cleansing, the Tattvachamana. Now please keep your hands in the Gokarna Mudra, which is open your palms straight and bend the index finger towards the center of the palm, making a dip with your palms. Then cupping your palms, pour an Udarni, a spoon of water in your palms, and when you hear the word Swada, drink the water. Om Atmatvam Shodayami Swada. Now pour another spoon of water in your hands and drink it. Vidya Tattvam Shodayami Swada. Now pour another spoon of water and drink it. Shiva Tattvam Shodayami Swada. Now wash your hands with a spoon of water. Now with the base of your right hand thumb, touch the upper, wipe the upper and lower lips twice. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Now wash your hands with a spoon of water. Now with the right hand index, middle and ring fingers touch above the upper lip and below the lower lip. Wash your hands again with a spoon of water. Then with the index finger and thumb touch the right nostril, the left nostril. With the ring finger and thumb touch the right eye, right ear and left ear. Wash your hands with a spoon of water. Now with the little finger and thumb of the right hand touch the navel, the right chest, the left chest, and with all the fingertips touch above your head, the right shoulder, the left shoulder, and the heart center. Wash your hands with a spoon of water. Now we'll be performing the Sankalpa, which is creating a conscious resolution that from this yoga, what do we want to achieve? What do we want to manifest by performing this yoga? So intensely close your eyes. Keep your right palm over your left palm and keep your both palms on your right thigh. Close your eyes and have an intense visualization of what you want to manifest out of today's yoga as we chant the Sankalpa mantra. Om Mamopartha Samasta Dhuritakshaya Dwara Bhagavat Shri Nityananda Paramashiva Prityartam Shri Nityanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Prityartam Cha Adya Purvokta Evam Guna Visheshana Vishishtayam Asyam Shubhaditao पूर्णारोग्ययुक्त धृतगात्र यौगिक शरीर सिद्ध्यर्थम परम शिव शक्ति आविष्करणार्थम नित्यानंद योगाभ्यासं करिष्ये. Om Apaupasprisya. Now wash your hands with the Udarni of water, with a spoon of water, and keep the Panchapatram and Udarni aside. Keep the water pot and spoon aside so that it is not a hindrance during the yoga. Now that we have beautifully completed the ritualistic cleansing and the conscious resolution, let us have a quick recap of the 12 components of Kailasa's Nityananda Yoga. As part of this Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, there are 12 components that we can try to perform to our best capacity to achieve the best results from this yoga. First component, which is the asana, which is the various body postures that we are going to be performing. As we perform these postures, it aligns our chakras, our energy centers, and awakens the kundalini towards the sahasrara, towards the crown center, raising us to the higher state of consciousness. The next component is the pranayama. Pranayamas are the various breathing techniques that we are going to be performing. As we perform these breathing techniques, we pull the maximum prana, the life energy, from our surrounding air and space and lock it inside the body using the pranayama, and allowing only the excess and unwanted apana, the negative energy, to leave the body. The next component is the mudras, the various hand gestures and the body gestures that we'll be performing during this Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama. When we perform these mudras, they activate a certain circuit of energy centers, which in turn activates the energy centers and helps raise the kundalini to the higher states of our body through the energy centers, and allowing us to experience Paramashiva through this yoga. The next component is the bandhas, the locks that we'll be performing. The bandhas are of 4 types. The first lock is the Mula Bandha, contracting the perineal muscles. The excretory and reproductive muscles will be contracting. This Mula Bandha will be performed throughout the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama. In every asana, you can perform this Mula Bandha as much as you can. The next bandha is the Uddiyana Bandha. The Uddiyana Bandha is pulling the stomach in and up. This Uddiyana Bandha will be shown next to the Acharyas in a yellow circle, so you can see the legend next to around the Acharyas, and when you see a yellow circle, you can perform the Uddiyana Bandha. The next bandha is the Jalandhara Bandha, locking the chin to the chest. As we perform the Jalandhara Bandha, we can see a blue circle next to the Acharyas. So when you see a blue circle next to the Acharyas, perform the Jalandhara Bandha. And the final bandha is the Mahamudra Bandha, which is the combination of all the 3 bandhas together. This Mahamudra Bandha will be shown in a purple circle as in this first asana, Sukhasana. The next component is the visualizations. The visualizations are an important component because when we visualize, and what we visualize during this yoga is very important, as that is what gets installed and gets inscribed in our biomemory. The visualizations in this yoga include various gods, sages, animals, and other sacred objects. So when we perform these high energy beings or symbols or items, those energies get activated inside us, raising our consciousness to a higher state of consciousness. The next component is the karnas. The karnas are the various dance postures. When we perform these karnas, we activate various body parts, which in turn help the kundalini to rise to the higher states of our body. The next component is the weights. The weights have been given to the humanity by the ancient Vedic rishis thousands of years ago, before modern bodybuilding. These weights can be used throughout the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama to intensify and make this whole sequence more challenging for you. So you can keep a pair of weights next to you and use them throughout the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama as you like. The next component is the japa, the chanting, the internal chanting of the various mahavakyas, which have been given directly by the Supreme Fount of Hinduism. As we chant these various Mahavakyas, we keep ourselves in a high state of consciousness, unclutched, without any other thoughts disturbing us, so we can allow the full attention of ourselves on this Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama practice. The next component is the chanting of the Shastra Pramanas. As we chant these Shastra Pramanas, which are the authentic scriptures given to us by Paramashiva, explaining each one of these asanas, we continue to remember that these asanas have been given to us directly by Paramashiva. The next component is the mandala. The mandalas are the Vedic sacred geometry that have been given to us by Paramashiva and the ancient rishis. Behind the acharyas, you can see the Shri Yantra, which is the mandala, which is the yantra for this Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama. So as you perform this yoga, just keep having a gaze on the Shri Yantra, which will help us to be in the high state of consciousness throughout this sequence. The next component is the abharana, which is the sacred jewelry that we'll be using. In this Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, we'll be using the Rudraksha jewelry. As Rudraksha is one of the most powerful energy beads, we'll be using the Rudraksha so that when we perform this yoga, these energy beads, these Rudrakshas get energized and we can use them later on to heal ourselves, to manifest a reality, or even to make your realities come true. The next component and the last one is the Aushada. As part of this Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, we'll be using 3 Aushadas. First of which is the sacred ash, the bhasma that we are applying in the 16 places, the kumkum on the third eye, and the turmeric paste on the temples. Now that we have had a quick recap of these 12 components, let's enter into the first asana of the sequence, which is Sukhasana. Now sit with your head, neck and spine in a straight line with your legs crossed. Keep your hands in Bindu Mudra, touching your index and thumbs. Place your hands on the respective knee. Visualize Paramashiva. Start holding the first Kumbhaka for the following asanas, which is Samana Kumbhaka. Inhaling, holding the breath, visualizing intense digestive fire, and then exhaling. Start performing the Mahamudra Bandha and hold the first japa, Shivoham, in your inner space. Tatsukha asanam ityuktam ashaktastat samacharet asanam vijitam yena jitam tena jagatrayam. The next asana is Parvatasana. Now sit in a cross-leg position with your legs in Padmasana or Sukhasana. Keep your hands together and raise them above your head in Namaskar Mudra. Visualize Mount Kailash. Hold the Mahamudra Bandha. Atavakshe Mahadeva Parvatasana Mangalam Yat Kritva Sthirarupisha Chakradi Vilopanam. The next asana is Halipavasana. Now bring the soles of the feet together in front of you and slowly lean forward. Interlace your fingers behind the back in Parishamudra and visualize Swamiji. Gaze at the nose and continue to perform the Mahamudra Bandha. Purva Vidiyahu me jano ube pagatali sampuratano pishtipachedo kalyavo dachina karso babagahavo. The next asana is Nagipavasana. Now raise up and bring the palms near the soles of the feet with the palms cupped. Keep the hands by the shins and place your forehead behind the heels. Visualize a snake, gaze at the nose and continue to perform the Mahamudra Bandha. Purva Vidhi Paryaganaini Chao Eve Kahuni Panasya Lagayi Hat Agane Darti Lagave Pasardo Hatki Anjuli Kare. The next asana is Kokilasana. Now hold the big toes in Prana Mudras, which is using the index and ring fingers, index and middle fingers to hold. Now pull the legs up and straight towards the sky and then lock your legs into Padmasana. Visualize a bird and continue to hold the Mahamudra Bandha. Atan yadasanam vakshe yena siddho bhave naraha akasmad vayu sancharam kokilakyasanena cha. The next asana is Neti Asana. Now raise up and stack the heels and ankles. Hold the opposite elbows and start rotating your hand in one direction few times and then the other direction. Visualize Swamiji, gaze at the nose and continue to hold the Mahamudra Bandha. Goda Baba Padiki Ahumahili Soye Dachizarnako Varlota Parigulpa Samoye. The next asana is Gajasana. Now place your hands on the mat and come to a plank position with your hips raised up towards the sky. Then start scooping the body down again and again using the strength of your hands. Visualize an elephant. Perform the Udyana Bandha and continue to hold the visualization of the elephant in your inner space. Nujjam padagre bhumau kritva lambi bhuya mastakagre nidaya nidambam urdhamunnamaya lambi lakshyam bhumau nasika maniya. The next asana is Rikshasana. Now start lifting one heel up and pressing the other heel to the mat. Repeat this on both the heels again and again as you visualize a bear and continue to hold the Udyana Bandha. Ekankam padama kuncha gajasanam kuryat rikshasanam bhavati. The next asana is Vaishyasana. Now stand up tall and now try to stand on the big toe alone, raising the other toes off the mat if you can. Then bring the index, ring and middle fingers to the heart center, touching the heart in Hridaya Mudra. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and continue to hold the Udyana Bandha. Keshena pada yuglam tadvadishteta domakahata vaishyavakshe yatkritva satyavan bhavet. The next asana is Urdhvajanukarana. Now come to a half squatted position which is called Arai Mandi, which is keeping the knees slightly bent, heels touching and toes pointed out. Bring the hands to the heart center and now simultaneously rotate one hand towards the center of the body with the respective leg. Repeat this on both sides again and again as you visualize Paramashiva. Yes, relax. Let's move to the next asana which is Balalingasana. Now stand tall and pull one knee towards the chest, keeping the hands interlaced from the inside out in Sharvavashankari Mudra. Pull the knee as close to the chest as possible and visualize caressing or holding a baby. Continue to hold the Samana Kumbhaka and the Mahamudra Bandha. Ekam jan ursiyalingya statavyam balalinganam bhavati. The next asana is Padapiranasana. Now pull the same leg towards the buttocks from the back and hold the leg with both the hands interlaced in Parshamudra. Visualize Swamiji and continue to hold the Mahamudra Bandha. Sthitvai kasmin padatale karabhyam yeshtayetanam prishte samstapya yatvena padapiranamasana. Yes, let's now move to the next asana which is Natarajasana. Now from the standing position, pull one leg from the back with the respective hand. Hold the leg from the inside and pull it backwards and up as you lean forward. Stretch the opposite hand forward, keeping the fingers in Bindu Mudra, touching the index and thumbs. Then visualize Lord Nataraja in your inner space as you hold the Moola Bandha. Uttana Padam Kraunchancha Marichim Veera Bhadrakam Natarajam Trigonam Cha Suptangushta Prasarane. Let's now move to the next asana which is Balalingasana on the opposite side. Now we'll be performing the next asana which is Balalingasana on the opposite side. Now interlace your fingers again from the inside out and pull the opposite knee towards the chest. Visualize holding a baby and perform the Mahamudra Bandha. Ekam jana ursyalingyastatavyam balalinganam bhavati. The next asana is Padapirnasana on the opposite side. Now pull the opposite leg towards the buttocks and hold the leg with both the hands, interlacing the fingers in Parshamudra. Visualize Swamiji and continue to hold the Mahamudra Bandha. स्थित्वैकस्मिन् पादतले कराभ्यां वेष्टयेतनं पृष्ठे संस्थाप्य यत्वेन पादपीडनमासनम्. The next asana is Natarajasana on the opposite side. Now hold one leg from the inside and pull it backwards and up. Then lean forward and stretch the opposite hand forward, keeping the fingers in Bindu Mudra. Visualize Lord Nataraja and continue to hold the Mula Bandha. Uttanapadam Kraunchancha Maricham Veera Bhadrakam Natarajam Trikonam Cha Suptangushta Prasarane. Now we'll be performing the second karna, which is the Ardha Rechita karna. Now come to the half squatted position, Arai Mandi, and bring your hands towards keep both the hands parallel to the ground in front of your heart center. Now cross one leg behind the other, keeping the toes on the ground and heels up. Now with the respective hands, start making a pendulum motion, swinging the hand back and forth gracefully. After swinging your hand a few times, place the hand on the nose and perform this on the opposite side. Now we come to the most interesting part of the Prathama Vinyasa Krama, which is the skeleton dance. Now intensely start shaking your body, visualizing all the laziness and tiredness leaving your body. Intensely shake your body without any pattern, visualizing Swamiji intensely filling your body and removing all your laziness and tiredness. Do not have any pattern in the way you shake your body, as you just allow it to shake in all directions. Yes, now relax. Now take a moment to catch your breath again. Now we'll be moving to the next, which is the Katichana Karna. Now come to the half squatting position as you keep your legs in Arai Mandi. Now raise your hands above the head, keeping the palms crossed. Now turn to one side and open the palms and hands wide open, and then come back to the center, crossing the hands. Then turn to the opposite side and perform the same. Repeat this again and again on both sides. Yes, relax now. We'll move to the next asana, which is Tadasana. Now stand tall on the tip of your toes and raise the hands above the head. Visualize a palm tree. Hold the new japa, Shivoham, and continue to hold the Samana Kumbhaka and the Mahamudra Bandha. Mahamudra Badra Kono Tadasana Vibhedakan Vinotanam Sada Kuryat Antarvatne Pati Priya. The next asana is Uttanasana. Now lean forward and down as you slowly place your hands by your legs and your forehead on the knees. Push your body as close to your legs as possible as you visualize Swamiji and continue to perform the Mahamudra Bandha. Mahamudra Bhadrakono Tadasana Vibhedakan Vinotanam Saraya Kuryat Antarvatni Padipriya. The next asana is Tarakshvasana. Now come to a plank position as you stretch your legs back and tuck your chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha as you move it from side to side. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Gajasana Vastitva Mastakam Varam Varam Dakshina Kuksham Sabya Kuksham Nayet Tarakshvasanam Bhavati. The next asana is Bhujangasana. Now slowly place your body on the ground with your toes pointed backwards. Keep your hands by the chest and lift your upper body now slowly with the strength of the lower back. Open your mouth wide and inhale through the hollow of the throat and exhale through the nose in Bhujangani Mudra. Visualize a cobra in your inner space. Angushtanabhi Paryantam Madho Bhumo Vininyaset Karabhyam Chadaran Ditva Udashisha Panivahi. The next asana is Shashasana. Now come back to a plank position and alternate, bringing one knee to the chest. Repeat this again and again. As you visualize Swamiji in your inner space, start performing the new pranayama for the following asanas, which is Samana Pranayama, which is inhaling and exhaling comfortably. Gajasana Samstito Janadvayamakuncha Varam Varam Kartavyam Shashanam Bhavati. The next asana is Ratasana. Now place one foot in between the palms and alternate, bringing the feet between the palms. Visualize a chariot. Gajasana Samstito Ekaikam Padam Puro Margena Brahmayatva Kartavyam Ratasanam Bhavati. Now the next asana is Virabhadrasana. Now place one leg forward and the other leg back. Then keep the back legs toes pointing sideways and the front legs knee bent in a 90-degree angle with the toes pointing forward. Now twist your hips forward and raise your hands above the head, keeping the knee elbows straight and the palms parallel to each other as you visualize Lord Veerabhadra. Gaze at the third eye and perform the Uddiyana Bandha. Uttanapadam Krauncha Maricham Veerabhadrakam Natarajam Trikonam Cha Suptangushta Prasarane. The next asana is Veerabhadrasana on the opposite side. Now switch the position of the feet and keep the back legs toes pointing sideways and the front legs toes pointing forward with the knee bent in a 90-degree angle. Raise your hands up above the head, keeping the palms parallel to each other, and visualize Lord Veerabhadra. Vasishtamatakaundimcham udakukkutameva ashtavakramato tanam mayuram setu bandhanam. Relax. The next asana is Vrikshasana. Now stand tall and strong on one leg and raise the opposite leg, placing it in the inner thigh of the opposite leg. Now bring both the palms together in front of the heart and raise your hands above the head as you visualize a tree and continue to hold the Uddiyana Bandha. Vamo Rumula Deshecha Yamyam Padam Nidayato Tishtet Vrikshabad Bhumo Vrikshasanam Midam Viduho. The next asana is Garudasana. Now place the raised leg on the opposite hip. Then bring both the palms together in front of the heart. Visualize Garuda in your inner space. Garuda asanama vakshe yena dhyanam sirambuvi sarva doshadvinir mukto bhavati mahabali. The next asana is Vrikshasana on the opposite side. Now place the leg back on the mat and raise the opposite leg, placing it in the inner thigh of the other leg. Bring both the palms together in front of the heart and visualize a tree. Vamo Ramola Deshecha Yamyam Padam Nidaito Tishtet Vrikshavat Bhumo Vrikshasanam Midam Viduho. The next asana is Garudasana. On the opposite side, now place the raised leg on the opposite hip and bring both the hands together in front of the heart. Release the Uddiyana Bandha and visualize Lord Garuda. Garuda asanama vakshe yena dhyanam sirimbuvi sarva doshadvinir mukto bhavati mahabali. Now place both the legs on the mat and stretch them apart wide in Trikonasana. As you place one leg forward and the other leg back, with the forward leg's toes pointed straight and the back leg's toes pointed sideways. Raise your hands now parallel to the ground and lean forward, placing the hand of the front leg next to it, and raise the other hand towards the sky as you gaze at the sky as well. Visualize a triangle in your inner space. Uttana Padam Crown Chancha Maricham Veerabhadrakam Natarajam Trikonam Chuprangushta Prasarane. Now raise up and switch the position of the feet as you place the forward leg's toes pointing sideways and the back leg's toes pointing front. Now again raise your hands parallel to the ground and slowly lean forward, placing your hands near the forward leg. Keeping the other hand towards the sky, gaze at the sky as well, visualizing a triangle. Uttana Padam Crown Chancha Maricham Veerabhadrakam Natarajam Trikonam Cha Suptangushta Prasarane. Now we come to the fourth karna of this sequence, which is Nikutaka karna. Now come to the half squatted position again as you keep your knees slightly bent, heels touching and toes pointed outwards. Now bring both the palms together parallel to each other in front of your heart. Now raise one heel and alternately switch, raising one heel and switching the position of the palms. Repeat this a few times. Relax. Now we move to the next asana, which is Angushtasana. Now squat on your heels with your knees together and then bring the palms together in front of your heart. Start performing the new Kumbhaka for the following asanas, which is Brahmari Kumbhaka. Inhale and exhale, making a bee-like sound, buzzing. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Kabanda asanamityahu gorakshasanam evacha angushtamushtikam yayam brahma prasaditam tata. The next asana is Saurasana. Now stretch one foot forward and keep both the hands by your side with the palms facing front and the toes and the fingers touching the ground. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Prasaryekam padatalam samstapyatveka padakam. The next asana is Vidunanasana. Now slowly lean forward and hold the stretched leg with the respective hand in Prana Mudra, and with the other hand hold the back leg's heel with the respective hand. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space in Vidunanasana. Kulpastitau padamekam prasarya tatpadagram samsidet tatkarena. The next asana is Saurasana on the opposite side. Now raise up and switch the feet as you stretch the opposite leg forward. Keep the hands by your side with the palms facing front and the fingers touching the mat. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Prasaryekam padatalam samstapyatveka padakam. The next asana is Vidunanasana. Now, with the respective hand of the stretched leg, hold the big toe of the stretched leg with the in prana mudra with the index and middle fingers. Hold the back leg's heel with the respective hand as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Gulpastito padamekam prasarya tatpadagram samside tatkarena. The next asana is Brahmajarunkushasana. Now come to a squatting position again with both the feet together and the knees apart. Keep the back of the palms on the respective knee as you tuck your chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha and gaze at the floor. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Do panapani hoy vese, edi do goda nivese. The next asana is Kapilasana. Now place the knees on the ground and the hands and the palms on the respective knee. Visualize the great sage Kapila as you tuck your stomach in and up in Udyana Bandha. Gaze at the nose. Ubhay pagatali samat harave tiniki mahili kor milave. The next asana is Bhadra Gorakasana. Now keep the position of the body in the same way as you just switch the gaze to the third eye. Continue to visualize Swamiji in your inner space. दो पगतली संपुट करे कौरवारली भूपति दरे गौरवारली राके ऐसे तापरि मोल द्वारिटी की बेसे. The next asana is Suryasana. Now raise the knees off the mat and keep the soles of the feet together as you sit on the soles of the feet. Now bring the palms together with the thumbs and little fingers touching each other. Open the palms wide and raise your hands above the head and gaze to the gap of the palms. As you visualize Lord Surya in your inner space, gaze at the sky and perform the Udyana Bandha. Edi do goda tariyane pana pani bhetega punitane goda janga ade kare rahe ade bami visi gahe. The next asana is Mandukasana. Now come to a seated position as you sit on your heels with the toes flat. Now place your palms on the respective knee as you roll your tongue up and touch the back of the throat with the tongue in Manduki Mudra. Gaze at the third eye and visualize a frog. Prasarya Pada talo prishta deshe anguштadvecha samsprishe janu yugram puraskritya sadet Mandukasanam. The next asana is Uttana Mandukasana. Now being seated in the same posture, raise your hands above the head and cross the hands touching the opposite shoulders. Visualize a frog, perform the Udyana Bandha now and continue to gaze at the third eye and perform the Manduki Mudra. Mandukasana madhyastam kurparabhyam tritam sharaha etadbhe kavaduttanam etaduttanam mandukam. The next asana is Simhasana. Now cross the ankles and sit on the crossed ankles. Keep your hands on the respective knees. Now lean forward, stick your tongue out and exhale forcefully as you visualize a lion and gaze at the nose. Dakshinam sabya gulpena dakshinetataram hasto jajanmo samstapya swangulischa prasarya cha. The next asana is Bhadrasana. Now uncross your ankles and sit on the heels with the toes flat. Now cross your hands behind the back and hold on to the opposite big toes with your fingers in Prana Mudra. Visualize Swamiji, tuck your chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha and continue to perform the Brahmari Kumbhaka. Gulpo Chavrishnas Yado Yutkramena Samahitaha Padang Gushto Karabhyam Cha Dhritvata Prishta Deshataha. The next asana is Kakapusandi Asana. Now come to a squatting position with both the feet flat on the mat together. Now wrap your knees from the inside and around, interlacing the fingers behind the back. Visualize a crow and gaze at the nose. Pratame vesa ugodatane do hath pagam vich ane. The next asana is Kanipavasana. Now place your hands flat on the mat, shoulder width apart. Place the knees on the back of the hands near the armpits and slowly lean forward as you lift the legs off the mat bringing the legs towards the buttocks. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Asana ko guna asi disita hoyi to achi hoyi. So I request all the participants with any injuries, major injuries like shoulder or back injuries, or any other major injury to not perform this asana until you get the consultation of your doctor or a physician. And I also request all the participants with any ailments, whether it's heart related or any other major terminal disease, to not perform this asana until you get your until you consult a doctor. For the rest of the participants who need little support or help performing this asanas, please take the support of the wall or a partner to do this asana. Now place your hands on the mat more than shoulder width apart. Place the forehead on the ground, making a triangle between the hands and head. Place the knees on the back of the hands as you slowly find balance. Lift your legs above as you slowly straighten your legs and balance in a headstand. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Shisha dati teki pagado milva ucha gukare. Relax. Now let's move to the next asana, which is Parshamayurasana. From this Parshamayurasana, we'll be performing the new Kumbhaka for the following asanas, which is Rechaka Kumbhaka. Exhale completely, hold the lungs empty as long as you can, and inhale again. Now come to a squatted position and place your hands on one side of the body. Align the elbows to the knees and hip as you slowly lean the hip and knees onto the hands. Stretch the legs out to the side. Visualize a peacock and hold the new japa Sada Shivoham in your inner space. Mayuram dandavat kuryan, Mayuram dandanamakam kuryan, Mayuram parshvabhyam, Mayura parshvanamakam. Now we'll be performing the Parshamayurasana on the opposite side. As you come back to the squatting position, align your elbows to the knees and hip. Lean to the hands as you stretch the legs again to the opposite side and lean forward. Visualize a peacock in your inner space. Mayuram dandavat kuryan, Mayuram dandanamakam kuryan, Mayuram parshvabhyam, Mayura parshvanamakam. The next asana is Bhairaganathasana. Now come to a plank position and place one leg near the respective elbow and the foot between the palms. Lean forward, lean the hip forward, and visualize Lord Kalabhairava as you gaze at the third eye. Asana ko gunapiti jayi. The next asana is Bhairaganathasana on the opposite side. Now bring the other leg towards the respective hand and place the foot between the palms. Visualize Kalabhairava and gaze at the third eye. Asana ko gunapiti jayi. The next asana is Unmukha Pitasana. Now, from a plank position, now place your forearms on the mat and lift your hips up high. Visualize Swamiji and gaze at the third eye. Bhunyastau janani hastau chadushpatava vanmukam uttapita angri yugala.
Kadestalama beruka.
The next asana is Vashishtasana. Now from the plank position, roll onto one hand and raise the other hand towards the sky. Gaze at the sky as well as you visualize the great sage Vashishta in your inner space. Urdu Kukuda Vashishta Marichihala Matsyagam Parivirtim Chodarasya Vividam Dhanurasanam. Now we'll be performing Vashishtasana on the opposite side as you roll onto the other hand and raise the opposite hand towards the sky, gazing at the sky as well. Visualize the great sage Vashishta in your inner space. Urdu Kukuda Vashishta Marichihala Matsyagam Parivirtim Chodarasya Vividam Dhanurasanam. Now we'll come to the next asana, which is Anjaneyasana. Come to a seated position as you place your legs straight in front of you with the toes pointing up. Place your hands under the buttocks and visualize the Lord Hanuman in your inner space. Tuck your chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha and start holding the new japa Mahasadashivoham in your inner space.
दो करके उबे हथेली कोर मारली में ले बेली सो आगाने वो परिदाशे महाने अंगुली मिली राशे.
The next asana is Pachimatanasana. Now, keeping the legs straight in front of you, now keeping your legs straight in front of you, slowly lean forward and hold the respective big toe in Prana Mudra, holding the big toe with your index and middle fingers. Slowly place the foreheads on the knee and push your body as low as possible. Visualize Swamiji and hold the Mahamudra Bandha.
जानो परिललाटं तो पश्चिमं तानमुच्यते येन केन प्रकारेण सुखं दार्यं च जायते.
The next asana is Ugrasana. Now raise up and interlace the hands behind the head in Parashamudra. Lean forward and down, placing the elbows outside of the knees and the forehead on the knees. Visualize Goddess Kali and continue to hold the Mahamudra Bandha.
स्वबाणभ्यां दृढं धृत्वा जानो परिशिरोऽन्यसेतासनोऽग्रमिदं प्रोक्तं भवेदनलदीपनं देहावसानहरणं पश्चिमं तानमुच्यते येन केन प्रकारेण सुखं दार्यं च जायते.
The next asana is Marichi Asana. Now pull one knee towards the chest, keeping the foot by the perineum. Now from the inside, wrap your knee and interlace both the hands behind your back. Place the forehead on the stretched leg's knee and visualize the great sage Marichi in your inner space.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गष्टप्रसारणे.
The next asana is Mahamudrasana. Now rest the raised knee on the ground and hold the stretched leg with both your hands and place your forehead on the knee of the stretched leg. Visualize Swamiji, gaze at the nose and continue to perform the Mahamudra Bandha.
महामुद्रा प्रवक्ष्यामि तान्त्रेऽस्मिन् मम वल्लभे यां प्राप्य सिद्धा सिद्धिं च कपिलाद्या पुरागताः.
The next asana is Marichi Asana, the opposite side. Now pull the opposite leg towards the perineum, keeping the knee raised. Wrap the leg from the inside around and hold both the hands behind the back. Visualize the great sage Marichi and hold the Mula Bandha.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गष्टप्रसारणे.
The next asana is Mahamudrasana on the opposite side. Now rest the raised knee on the mat and hold the stretched leg with both the hands, placing the forehead on the knee. Visualize Swamiji and perform the Mahamudra Bandha.
महामुद्रा प्रवक्ष्यामि तान्त्रेऽस्मिन् मम वल्लभे यां प्राप्य सिद्धा सिद्धिं च कपिलाद्या पुरागताः.
The next asana is Bhadrasana 2. Now bring both the soles of the feet together as close to the perineum as possible and hold both the soles with the respective hands, interlacing the fingers around the toes. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space, gaze at the third eye and continue to perform the Rechaka Kumbhaka for the following asanas and hold the Mula Bandha.
गुल्बोधिषणस्यादः सीवन्यापार्श्वयोन्योक्षिपेत्पादपार्श्वेतुपाणिभ्यां दृढं बद्ध्वा सुनिश्चलं भद्रासनं भवेदेति सर्वपापप्रणाशनम्.
The next asana is Gwalipavasana. Now pull the legs away from the perineum slightly and place the hands on the respective knee. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space, gaze at the nose and tuck your chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha.
पूर्वचर्वटचौकह्योऽसो इमाहि विधियो की जैसो ईयामे एटी पिन्नजुराशे अंगुलाट अंतरोराशे.
The next asana is Joniasana. Now pull the legs again towards the perineum and hold the respective leg. Then slowly place the hands on the ground as you lean forward, placing the forehead in front of the toes. Visualize the Yoni Mandala, gaze at the nose, and continue to hold the Japa Mahasada Shivoham in your inner space.
दो बगदली संबुड़ करे एडी मेड के डिंग दरे अर्ध हाथ को अंतर राशे लाड बगतल्या उबरदाशे.
The next asana is Midaki Pavasana. Now pull the legs away from the perineum and stretch the hands to the side. Then slowly place the forehead in behind the feet. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and gaze at the nose.
दो बगदली संबुड़ करे एडी मेड के डिंग दरे अर्ध हाथ को अंतर राशे लाड बगतल्या उबरदाशे.
The next asana is Siddha Samadhi Asana. Now pull the legs towards the perineum and insert the hands from under the shins. Then place the neck in front of the toes with the toes touching the neck. Visualize Lord Surya and gaze at the nose.
पूर्व विजबरी बगदली संपूर्ण शोली एडी मिली राशे एडिया सुमा हिली कानी अगोल दो वो आतरे लाड धरती लगावे.
The next asana is Chiniki Pavasana. Now bring your soles towards the perineum and hold the respective sole with your hand. Open the soles like a book and place the elbows by the knees. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and gaze at the nose.
दो बगा की एडी धरती मगिवा मेड लगावे बगतली माहिली कौर अंगूठा की सदी सूद जोड़े बारली कोर पना शुल्या राशे.
The next asana is Charpat Chokasana. Now raise up and place your hands on the respective leg and gently push the legs towards the ground. Perform the Udyana Bandha, pulling the stomach in and up. Visualize Swamiji and gaze at the third eye.
दो वो बगदली संबुड़दारे आगाने करजार पसारे गोड़ा बो सौ लगदारा शे हाथ दो वो गोड़ा परिदाशे.
The next asana is Bhairavasana. Now pull the legs The next asana is Bhairavasana. Now pull the heels up and the soles towards the perineum as you lift the heels up. Now try to keep the knees on the mat and be seated as you place the hands on the respective knee in Bindu Mudra, touching the thumbs and index fingers. Visualize Kalabhairava, gaze at the third eye and pull your stomach in and up in Udyana Bandha.
बुल्पौ संपीड्य चान्योन्यं क्रमेणोद्धृतं शनैः जान्वो पार्श्वहतौ वस्तौ दण्डवद्भैरवासनम्.
The next asana is Samanasana. Now keep the heels down and pull one heel towards the perineum and lift the other leg towards the chest with both the hands. Visualize Swamiji, gaze at the third eye.
समानासनमावक्ष्ये सिद्धमन्त्राद साधनात् एकपादमुरो बत्वा गुह्योन्यल्लिङ्गवक्त्रके एतद्वीरासनं नाथ समानासन सम्यकम् इत्याकृत्य जपेन्मन्त्रं धृत्वा वायुर्चतुर्दले.
The next asana is Apanasana. Now keep the raise the raised leg and place it on the respective shoulder and stretch the opposite leg to front and up, keeping the knees straight. Place the hands by the side for balance and visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you gaze at the third eye.
केवलं पादमेकं च स्कन्धे चारोप्य यत्नतः एकपादेन गगने तिष्ठेत दण्डवत्प्रभो अपानासनमे तद्धि सर्वेषां पूर्वकाश्रयं कृत्वा सूक्ष्मे शीर्षपद्मे समारोप्य वायुधिः.
The next asana is Samanasana on the opposite side. Now place the raised leg on the ground near the perineum and lift the opposite leg towards the chest and hold it with both the hands. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and gaze at the third eye.
समानासनमावक्ष्ये सिद्धमन्त्रात् साधनात् एकपादमुरो बद्ध्वा गुह्योन्यल्लिङ्गवक्त्रगे.
The next asana is Apanasana. Now raise the leg and place it on the respective shoulder as you stretch the opposite leg forward and up, keeping the knee straight. Place the hands by the side for balance and visualize Swamiji as you gaze at the third eye.
केवलं पादमेकं च स्कन्धे चारोप्य यत्नतः एकपादेन गगने तिष्ठेत दण्डवत्प्रभो पानासनमेतद्धि सर्वेषां पूर्वकाश्रयं कृत्वा सूक्ष्मे शीर्षपद्मे समारोप्य वायुधिः.
The next asana is Gomukhasana. Now cross the legs, stacking the knees in the center of the body. Keep the heels outside of the hip and interlace both the hands and place it on the top knee. Visualize a cow and gaze at the nose. Start performing the new Kumbhaka for the following asanas, which is Sheetkari Kumbhaka. Inhale through the clenched teeth and exhale through the nose. Hold the new japa Om Nityanandoham in your inner space.
सव्ये दक्षिणगुल्बन्धो पृष्ठपार्श्वे नियोजयेत् दक्षिणे तथा सव्यं गोमुखं गोमुखं यथा.
The next asana is Anusuyasana. Keeping the legs in the same posture, release the hands and hold the opposite big toes in Prana Mudra. Visualize Rishika Anusuya, perform the Udyana Bandha and gaze at the nose.
दक्षिण गोड़ों नीचोटा ने वामोदा के ऊपर आने गोड़ा संधि मिलाए बारी आधा पद पुनीदे संधि पसारी.
The next asana is Anusuyasana 2. Now slowly lean forward and try to place the nose on the mat in front of you as you interlace the hands behind you and visualize Rishika Anusuya. Pull your stomach in and up in Udyana Bandha and gaze at the nose.
जीवना गोड़ा की संधि परितावा गोड़ा की संधि मिलाइए राशे गोड़ा सोले पगतल्यालो वाड़वाय सोदा राशे.
The next asana is Garudasana. Now place one leg on the mat near the perineum and keep the other foot flat on the mat near the knee by the chest. Place the hands on respective knees and visualize Lord Garuda, gaze at the nose and continue to perform the Sheetkari Kumbhaka.
दावो बगमोड़िए डिमाहिलो गुल्बमोल द्वारणी छेदे बेसे जीमनी बगदली धरती डेकी गोड़ो उंचो बहुराशे.
The next asana is Naradasana. Now sit on the heel which is touching the perineum and interlace the hand behind the neck. Turn outside the raised knee and visualize the great sage Narada as you gaze at the third eye.
पिष्टिज्वाम बगदली के रिबू परिता ही लगावे पेरी गोड़ास दो मनो है जो ईद पाचती लावे सोई.
The next asana is Matsyapitakasana. Now place the heel which was under the perineum on the opposite leg and with the respective hand hold the opposite shin. With the other hand hold the respective big toe and visualize Matsya, the fish avatar of Lord Vishnu, as you gaze at the nose.
वामेन वामाङ्गुष्टन्तो गृहीतं मत्स्यपीठकं योनि वामेन सम्पीड्य मेढ्रादुपरि दक्षिणम्.
The next asana is Gomukhasana on the opposite side. Now again cross the legs, stacking the knees in the center of the body. Keep the heels outside of the hips and the hands interlaced on the top knee. Visualize a cow and gaze at the nose.
सव्ये दक्षिणगुल्पन्तो पृष्ठपार्श्वे नियोजयेत् दक्षिणे तथा सव्यं गोमुखं गोमुखं यथा.
The next asana is Anusuyasana on the opposite side. Now release the legs, release the hands and hold the opposite big toe in Prana Mudra. Visualize Rishika Anusuya, gaze at the nose and pull the stomach in and up in Udyana Bandha.
दक्षिण गोड़ों नीचोटा ने वामोदा के ऊपर आने गोड़ा संधि मिलाए बारी आधा पद पुनीदे संधि पसारी.
The next asana is Anusuyasana 2. Now interlace the hands behind the back and Slowly lean forward and down, placing the nose on the mat in front of you. Visualize Rishika Anasuya and gaze at the nose.
जीवना गोड़ा की संधि उपरितावा गोड़ा की संधि मिलाई राशे गोड़ शिवले पगतल्यालो आडवाई सोदा राशे.
The next asana is Garudasana 2. Now place one foot by the perineum and the other foot flat on the mat with the knee to the chest. Place the hands on respective knees and visualize Lord Garuda as you gaze at the nose.
दावो पगमोरिये रीमाहिलो गुल्पमूल द्वार नीचे दे बेसे जीमनी पगतली धरती टेकी गोड़ो ऊंचो उबाव राशे.
The next asana is Naradasana. Now sit on the heel which is touching the perineum and interlace the fingers and twist outside of the raised knee. Visualize Lord Narada and gaze at the third eye.
पिष्टिवाम पगतली के रीबू परिताहि लगावे पेरी गोड़ा सुदो बनो है जोई दचपाशती लावे सोई.
The next asana is Matsyapitakasana. Now sit on the now place the heel which you are sitting on the opposite thigh and with the respective hand wrap around the leg and hold on to the opposite thigh. Then with the other hand hold the respective big toe and visualize Lord Matsya, the fish avatar of Lord Vishnu.
वामेन वामाङ्गुष्टन्तो गृहीतं मत्स्यपीठकं योनि वामेन सम्पीड्य मेढ्रादुपरिदक्षिणम्.
The next asana is Matsyendrasana. Now keeping the leg on the opposite thigh, slowly place the hands down on one side, then twist outside of the raised knee and place one hand on the respective ear with the other hand stretched behind. Gaze backwards towards the third eye and visualize the great sage Matsyendranatha in your inner space.
उदरं पश्चिमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत्नतः नम्राङ्गं वामपादं हि दक्षजानुपरिण्यसे तत्र याम्यं कूर्परं च याम्ये करे च वप्रगं भ्रोर्मध्येकतां दृष्टं पीठं मत्स्येन्द्रमुच्यते.
The next asana is Kubasana. Now stretch the hand which is touching the respective ear and place the hand which is behind on the respective ear. Visualize a camel in your inner space.
आसन गौगुण जोलो जाए.
The next asana is Matsyendrasana 2. Now stretch the hand which is touching the respective ear back on the ground. Continue to gaze backwards and towards your third eye as you visualize this great sage Matsyendranatha in your inner space.
मत्स्येन्द्रपीठं जठरप्रदीप्तं प्रचण्डरुक्मण्डलकण्डनास्त्रम् अभ्याशतकुण्डलिनी प्रबोधं दण्डस्फिरद्वं हि ददाति पुंसाम्.
The next asana is Matsyendrasana on the opposite side. Now place the opposite leg on the other thigh and lift the knee up. Then twist outside of the raised knee and keep one hand on the respective ear and the other hand on the mat behind you. Turn back and gaze towards the third eye as you continue to visualize the great sage Matsyendranatha in your inner space.
उदरं पश्चिमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत्नतः नम्राङ्गं वामपादं हि दक्षजानुपरिण्यसेत्.
The next asana is Kubasana. Now the next asana is Kubasana on the opposite side. Now place the hand which was on the ground on the respective ear and the other hand stretched and holding the opposite leg. Visualize the great sage Matsyendranatha and gaze at the third eye.
आसन गौगुण जोलो जाए.
The next asana is Matsyendrasana 2. Now stretch the hand which is touching the respective ear back on the mat and visualize the great sage Matsyendranatha.
मत्स्येन्द्रपीठं जठरप्रदीप्तं प्रचण्डरुक्मण्डलकण्डनास्त्रम् अभ्याशतकुण्डलिनी प्रबोधं दण्डस्फिरद्वं हि ददाति पुंसाम्.
The next asana is Padmasana. Now place the legs Place the legs on opposite thighs and keep the hands on the respective knee. Visualize Lord Shiva in your inner
आसनं द्वैतं
space.
प्रोक्तं पद्मं वज्रासनं तथा ऊर्ध्वोरुपरि चेद्दत्ते उभे पातले यथा.
The next asana is Padmasana 2. Now continue to keep the legs in the same posture as you hold the opposite big toes in Prana Mudra. Visualize Goddess Parvati, gaze at the nose, and continue to perform the hold the new japa Om Nityananda Mahasada Shivoham in your inner space.
उत्तानौ चरणौ कृत्वा ऊर्ध्व संस्थौ प्रयत्नतः ऊर्ध्वमध्ये ततोत्तानौ पाणी कृत्वा च तादृशौ.
The next asana is Kukutasana. Now, keeping the legs in Padmasana, insert the hands to the gap of the thighs and calves and lift the body off the ground. Visualize a rooster and start performing the Sahaja Kumbhaka, which is inhaling, holding the breath and exhaling comfortably.
पद्मासनं सुसंस्थाप्य नार्वोर्कोरन्तरे करौ निवेश्य भूमावाशिष्ठेयो मस्तककुक्कुटासनः.
The next asana is Baddha Asana. Now from Padmasana, raise onto your knees and place the hands on the mat with the fingers pointing towards the body. Lean onto the elbows as you slowly lift the knees off the ground. Balance on the hands and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दरामवष्टभ्यकरद्वयेन तत्कूर्परि स्थापितानाभिपार्श्वः उच्चासनो दण्डवदुत्थितक्के मायूरमेतत् प्रवदन्ति पीठं मयूरं पद्मकं कुर्यात् बद्धकेकी कथ्यते.
The next asana is Mayurasana. Now open the legs and come to a kneeling position. Keeping the hands in the same posture, slowly lean forward and place the navel on the elbows. Slowly lift the knees and legs off the ground as you visualize a peacock in your inner space.
अथ वक्षे महादेव मयूरासनमुत्तमं भूमौ निपात्यस्त्वौ द्वौ कूर्परोपरि देहकं कूर्परोपरि संस्थाप्य सर्वदेहं शिराश्रयः केवलं हस्तयुगलं निपात्य भूशुश्रितः.
The next asana is Makarasana. Now slowly lie down on your stomach and open your legs wide apart with the toes pointing sideways. Visualize a crocodile in your inner space and interlace your hands, placing them behind the neck.
अद्याशेदे हृदयं निधाय भूमौ च पादौ च प्रसार्यमाणो शिरश्च धृत्वा करदण्डयुग्मे देहाग्निकारं मकरासनं तत्.
The next asana is Shalabhasana. Now place the legs together and the hands next to the chest. Then raise the legs up and keep the body on the mat as you visualize a locust in your inner space.
अद्याशेदे करयुग्मं वक्षो भूमिम् अवष्टभ्य करयोस्थलाभ्यां पादौ च शून्ये च वितस्थिचोर्ध्वं वदन्ति पीठं शलभं मुनीन्द्राः.
The next asana is Ushtrasana. Now bend the knees towards the buttocks and then hold the respective leg with the hand and push the leg down beside your hip to the ground as much as possible. Visualize a camel in your inner space.
अद्याशेदे पदयुग्मं वष्टं पृष्ठे निधाय धृतं कराभ्याम् आकुञ्चयेत् सम्यक् उदरास्त्रगाढम् उष्ट्रं च पीठं योगिनो वदन्ति.
The next asana is Dhanurasana. Now keeping the legs bent, hold the leg from the outside and simultaneously lift the thighs off the ground and the upper body, bending the back as much as possible, visualizing a bow. Gaze at the third eye.
प्रसार्य पादौ भुविदण्डरूपौ करोति पृष्ठे धृतपादयुग्मं कृत्वा धनस्तुल्यविवस्थिताङ्गं निगद्य योगी धनुरासनं तत्.
The next asana is Bhagasana. Now come to a seated position as you sit on your heels with the toes flat. Keep your hands on the respective knee and visualize Swamiji as you gaze at the third eye.
उल्टा मोड़ पावतो वैसे बहुरोज कति करे एक वैसे पावन महिला गुल्पजो वो कुला पाशतीला वैसो वो.
Next asana is Gohyasana. This is an inverted asana. So I request all the participants to take some caution while performing this. And if you need some support, take the support of the wall or a partner to perform this asana. Now place your hands on the mat, your forearms on the mat, and interlace the fingers. Then place the crown between the interlaced fingers and slowly walk your hips forward. Then kick your legs up and keep the knees bent. Visualize Swamiji and gaze at the nose. Hold the new japa Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
दो हाथ की कहोनी जोई पुनः काले जाने दो ये पिष्टी अंगुरियां की पुन जानो वे सब ले वो परिटानो.
Next asana is Shirasasana. Now slowly straighten the knees from the same posture with balance. Visualize Swamiji and gaze at the nose.
विपरीतं मण्डलं च द्विदैव विहितं हिनः दण्डासनं द्विधा प्रोक्तं विपरीतोपवेशने सर्वाङ्गशीर्षभागास्तु षट्षष्टिः प्रसितास्तु ते.
The next asana is Podhyasana. Now come to a seated posture and place your hands underneath the calves. Now slowly lift the legs up and keep the knees straight as you place the forehead on the knees. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and start performing the Bhastrika Kumbhaka, which is forceful exhalations for the following asanas.
दो हाथ बाहर आने गोडातरे कांक सीटाने अंगुष्ठ पिंडली लगदाधरे चरणों बे आकाश दिशी करे.
Next asana is Parigasana. Now place your legs on the mat and raise your hands, crossing them behind the head. Then slowly raise the legs up to a 45-degree angle with the knees straight. Balance here as you visualize a maze.
उत्तानशयनं कृत्वा पादौ मिलित्वा वर्षार्याणि तं बम्बोमस्पृश्यात् स्ताभ्यां गन्धरां बद्ध्वा कुम्भकं कृत्वा तिष्ठेत् परिगासनं भवति.
The next asana is Naukasana. Now place your legs back on the mat again and stretch your hands parallel to the ground or place your forearms on the ground near your hips. Then again raise your legs up to a 45-degree angle and visualize a boat.
उत्तानशयनं कुर्पराभ्यां मौमिं अवष्टभ्य हस्तौ नितम्बं निधाय शिरः ओरोजङ्गां पादान् दण्डवद्धारयेत् नौकासनं भवति.
The next asana is Rudrasana. Now bring the soles of the feet together and scoop your hands under the feet and raise the legs up towards the chest. Balance here as you visualize Lord Rudra and gaze at the nose. Continue to perform the Bhastrika Kumbhaka.
पगदली संबुड़करी हाथस्य पग ऊंचाई पगाका अंगूठा दो वो ले वो पर नीता निकालवे.
The next asana is Unmukha Pitasana. Now lie on your back with the soles of the feet flat on the mat and the knees bent. Lift your hips up towards the sky and visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Perform the Jalandhara Bandha, locking the chin to the chest, and the Murcha Kumbhaka, which is inhaling and exhaling through the Jalandhara Bandha. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
ऊर्ध्वे च जानुनी कृत्वा शवेत्वोर्ध्वमुखं तथा उत्थाप्य हस्तौ तिष्ठेतो पीठा उन्मुखनामके.
Now relax your body completely in Shavasana as you stretch your legs. Keep the hands by your side with the palms facing forward. Visualize Swamiji and visualize the Kundalini travel from the root center to the crown center in Shakti Chalana Mudra. Completely unclutch from all the micro movements of your body.
आताशवासनम् उत्तानं शववद्भूमौ शयनं तोषवासनम् शवासनं श्रान्तिहरं चेतविश्रान्तिकारकम्.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda.
Yes, now slowly start moving your hands and legs. Move. Bring awareness to your body. Start wiggling your hands and legs and bend your knees towards your chest. Wrap your knees with both your hands and rock from side to side, letting the blood travel all over the body. Yes, now slowly roll up and come to a comfortable seated position. We have beautifully finished the first 108 asanas of the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama. Let's now move into the next phase of this sequence with the next asana, Yathashanishtasana. Now be in a comfortable seated position however you want, whether cross-legged or leg stretched. Place your hands in Bindu Mudra with touching your index and thumbs. Place them on your knees. Visualize Swamiji. Again start holding the Samana Kumbhaka, which is inhaling. Holding the breath, visualizing the intense gastric fire and then exhaling. Hold the japa Om Nityananda Paramashivoham for the rest of the sequence. As we start with the next asana, Yathashanishtasana.
पर्यङ्कं तत्समाख्यातं यतसंस्थं यथा स्थितिः.
The next asana is Samasana. Now sit in a cross-legged position and continue to keep your hands in Bindu Mudra. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
इदानीं गर्भिणीनां योगाभ्यासो यथा लगो सुखप्रसवलाभाय प्रोच्यते प्राक्तने पति.
The next asana is Muktasana. Now place one leg, your right leg, on the left thigh and be seated. Keep the palms on the respective knee. Visualize Swamiji and gaze at the nose.
निबीड्य सीवनीं सूक्ष्मां दक्षिणेत्रितगुल्पतः वामं याम्येन गुल्पेन मुक्तासनमिदं भवेत्.
The next asana is Siddhasana. Now continue to be seated in the same posture as you switch the gaze to the third eye. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
स्थानहमितेन्द्रियोच्चलदृशान् पश्यन् भ्रुवोरन्तरं चैतन्मोक्षकपाटभेदजनकं सिद्धासनं प्रोच्यते.
The next asana is Siddhyasana. Now Continue to be seated in the same posture. As you switch to gaze to the floor in front of you, perform the Mahamudra Bandha, which is all the three bandhas, the root lock, the stomach lock, and the chin lock. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
वामपाद की एड़ी जानो सीवनि मदिता सकौंटानो.
The next asana is Rudrasana 2. Now, keep the legs in the same posture and roll the palms up, keeping the fingers in Bindu Mudra. Visualize Lord Rudra in your inner space.
वामचरण परिदक्षिण रागे एक जुगति ऐसे विदिदा के.
The next asana is Santadhunasana. Now maintain the same posture. Shift your gaze to the tip of your nose. Embody tranquility and an unshakable nature.
वामचरण परिदक्षिण रागे एक जुगति ऐसे विदिदा के.
We move on to Siddhasana 2. Maintain one ankle over the other and cup your palms in front of the navel, resembling a lotus flower in Samputa Mudra. As you visualize Swamiji in your inner space, breathe in Samana Kumbhaka, fill your stomach with intense prana.
आसन की गुण मन की चंचलता मीटा.
The next asana is Bandha Yoni Asana. Now, press the left heel against the perineum and place the right foot on top of the left thigh. Set the sankalpa to manifest through the womb of creation. As you get ready to enter Shanmukhi Mudra, now close your lips with the little and ring fingers, the nostrils with the index, middle fingers, and the eyes with the index fingers as you close your ears with the thumbs.
ऋजुकाय समासीन सिद्धासनमुदीरितं प्रसार्य भुवि पादौ तौ धोर्भ्यामङ्गुष्ठमादरात्.
Next up is Virasana. Maintain the cross-legged posture. Place your hands on top of the knees in Bindu Mudra as you embody the state and space of bravery, Vira.
यत्र मध्ये महादेव बन्धयोन्यासनेश्वरो यत्कृत्वा केचरो भूत्वा विचरेत् ईश्वरो यथा.
Next up is Valmikasana. Now shift your gaze to the third eye. Keep your hands in Bindu Mudra and visualize Sage Valmiki, the great poet and author of Ramayana.
एकं पादमदैकस्मिन् विन्यस्योरिणि संस्थितः इतरस्मिन् सदा चोरं वीरासनमुदीरितम्.
The next asana is Joni Mudrasana. Now place your hands flat on the knees. Gaze towards the tip of your nose.
दावा पगा की बकितली पुनि एड़े है जोया.
And visualize Yoni Mudra, Yoni Mandala in the next asana of the sequence, which is Yoni Asana. Maintain the same posture. Shift the gaze to your third eye.
वामपाद की बकितली जाहि माहिली कोरी.
We move on to Bhadrasana 3. Now keep the soles of the feet together, the heels close to your perineum, and push the knees down by the strength of your groin. Keep the heels close to your perineum. Now visualize yourself as Lord Veerabhadra as you perform Udyana Bandha and Ura Bandha.
योन्यासनं पर्वतेन योगं योगफलेनिलं तत्कालफललं तावत् केचरो यावदेव हि.
The next asana is Aghodasana. Now maintain your heels close to the perineum. Shift your gaze up towards the third eye. Press your tongue upwards in Kechari Mudra. Lead them up along the nasal tract, if you can, as you cover your mouth with the right hand. Close the left nostril with the index finger. Inhale through the right nostril and Hold your breath. Then exhale through the left nostril and repeat on both sides again and again in Abhyantara Kumbhaka as you visualize yourself as an Aghori.
पूर्वकः विश्रिका जो ही माही विदिशो कीजिए सोई.
The next asana is Kanari Pavasana. Now, keep the toes together and separate your heels as you place your elbows down on the heels and rest your chin on your hands. Now gaze to the tip of your nose in Shambhavi Mudra. Inhale all the way and hold your breath in Rechaka Kumbhaka. Engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha as you visualize yourself as a female elephant drinking water.
कानरी पवासन ग्वाली पवासन कह्यो है जाते याहू में जाने विदिते से.
Next up is Tadasana. Now bring the soles of the feet together and hold on to your feet with your hands. Hold them up from the ground as you gaze to the tip of the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
ततोर्ध्वं रेचयेद्वायुं मृडुनिश्वास संयुतम्.
Next up is Gopi Chandasana. Now keep the soles of the feet together, interlock the fingers around the feet and pull them close towards your chin as you rest your chin on your hands. Gaze to the tip of your nose and embody the state and space of a king.
पूरब विधिवरि पकाका अंगूठा खाता कुपाराशे.
Next up is Uddarasana. Now bring your arms below the legs. Hold on to the feet with the hands interlocked. Hold the feet against your chest. Rest your chin on your soles and gaze to the nose as you visualize your body free from any defects.
दो बगदली संबुड आटाने उबे हस्त करी उर्ध हिटाने अंगुष्ठ दो वो समट हरावे चिबुका नीचे ताहि लगावे.
From the same posture, raise your legs even higher. Bring them in front of the face in Vishishtasana as you visualize yourself excelling in everything.
दो वो बगदली जोड़ी संबुड करे.
Relax. The next asana is Bhujasana. Now bring your feet over top of the respective shoulders and bring your hands up towards the shoulders as you visualize yourself as a cobra.
शीर्षासनं तु विज्ञेयं काक्षासनमतः परं ग्रीवासनं च परमं भुजासनमिहोचयेत्.
The next asana is Kalyanasana. With your feet over top of the respective shoulders, now bring your hands behind your body and interlock your fingers in Paramashiva behind your back. Gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize yourself as a beautiful, auspicious goddess.
दो हाथ बगाम विच आने तन को गोड़ा नीचे टाने बहुरी बागत्या बाहर ल्यावे पुनः युगति ऐसे ठहरावे.
We move on to Sankatasana. Now, place the top of the left foot flat on the mat and sit on the left heel. Bring the right foot crossed over the left leg and keep the right heel close to the left hip. Place your hands on opposite knees and visualize yourself as an elegant swan as you start breathing in Ujjayi Pranayama, making an ocean-like sound with your mouth.
वामपादं चितेर्मूलं सन्यस्य धरणीतले पाददण्डेन याम्येन वेष्टयेद्वामपादकं जानुयुग्मं करयुग्मम् एतत् सङ्कटमासनम्.
Next up is Dhenukasana. Now, bring the heel on which you're sitting outside of the hip. Sit down on the ground, keep your knees stacked in front, place both hands on the top knee, and visualize a cow in your inner space as you gaze outwards without focusing on any external objects in Vaishnavi Mudra, and engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha in Dhenukasana.
अनुशागि नगर पंचतम ऋषिः लण्डकल्यम्नि.
Next up is Machandrasana. Now place the right foot on the left thigh and the left foot on the right knee. Twist your left hand behind the back and reach for the opposite thigh. As you place your right hand on the left thigh and twist your body even further, gaze up towards your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
वामजंगपरदजिताने वामहस्तपिष्टीदिशाने बहरोदचनपादहे जो ईता के नलजोपकरे सोई.
Next up is Machandrasana 2. Untwist your spine, hold onto the big toes in Prana Mudra, and lean forward and down, placing your forehead down on the ground as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
प्रथमजी मनोचरण जोई वामजंगपरिराके सोई.
Now rise back up, interlock your fingers, and place them on the top knee as you engage all three bandhas and visualize Swamiji, your Guru, in your inner space in Guru Asana.
और मूले इदरवाजस्य कनिष्ठिका प्रदेशे गुल्पं संस्थाप्य.
Next up is Sankatasana on the other side. Now place the top of the right foot flat on the mat, sit on the right heel, stack the left knee over the right, place your hands on opposite knees. Visualize yourself as an elegant swan.
वामपादं चिदेर्मूलं संन्यस्य धरणीतले पादण्डेन याम्येन वेष्टयेद्वामपादकम्.
Now repeat Dhenukasana on the other side. Slide the right heel outside the hip, sit on the ground, hands on the top knee, engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mudra Bandha as you visualize a cow in Dhenukasana.
अनुशागि नगर पंचदं ऋषिः लण्डकल्यम्नि.
Now place the left foot on the right thigh and the right foot on the left knee. Sit cross-legged as you twist the right arm behind your back, hold on to opposite thighs, and visualize Swamiji in Machandrasana.
वामजंगपरदचिनडाने वामहस्तपिष्टीदिशाने बहरोदचनपादहे जो ईता के नलजोपकरे सोई.
Now repeat Machandrasana 2 on the other side. Hold on to the big toes, lean forward and down. Visualize Swamiji.
प्रथमजी मनोचरण जोई वामजंगपरयाने सोई.
Now interlock your fingers, place them on the top knee as you engage all three bandhas and visualize your Guru Swamiji in Guru Asana.
और मूले इदरपादस्य कनिष्ठिका प्रदेशे गुल्पं संस्थाप्य.
The next asana is Pashasana. Now place your feet flat on the ground in front of you and hold on to opposite knees as you pull them close against your chest. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and gaze up towards your third eye as you push your tongue upwards towards the third eye in Kechari Mudra.
पातले भूमौ निधाय जानुनी उर्जिनिधाय विपरीत हस्ताभ्याम और सहित जंके निबध्ये तिष्ठेत् प्रशासनं भवति.
The next asana is Bodha Shukasana. From the same asana, now hold on to your wrists. Pull your knees close. Gaze to your nose. Visualize Swamiji.
दो वो बगदली बो परिदेरे कोरमा हिली ऐसे करे कोरमा हिली उकड़बे से जंगा चादी अग्रनिवे से.
Next up is Kudakatasana. Now bring your arms below the knees and hold on to opposite elbows. Pull your legs close to your chest. Keep your tongue up, gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
कुरकटासन दो हाथ पग बाहर लियावे गोड़ा नीचे ले ठहरावे आम्हा साम्हा ऐसे करे आपस में इनको हनी पकड़े.
Next up is Sumati Asana. Now keep your arms underneath the knees but cross the right foot over the left, sticking your ankles with the feet pointing upwards. Gaze to your nose and visualize the great sage and Maharishi Sumati.
मूलद्वार धरती परिडाने दावा पग भरत बद आने दाई पाखदी कोले आवे हाथ एक अमतर तहरावे.
We move on to Dandasana. Now extend your legs forward and raise your arms up. Interlock your fingers and straighten your arms upwards with the wrists pointing outwards. Now gaze to the tip of your nose. Keep your tongue upwards in Kichari Mudra. Visualize Swamiji as you engage all three bandhas, Mahamudra Bandha.
इदानीं गर्भिणीनां योगाभ्यासो यथा लगो सुख प्रसवलाभाय प्रोच्यते प्राक्तनेपति.
The next asana is Arambhasana. Now lean forward and down, hold onto the big toes in Prana Mudra. Bring your head towards the knees and then start breathing in Nadi Shodhana. Inhale through one nostril and exhale through the other alternatingly, cleaning Ida and Pingala, the main nadis, and preparing you for the experience of higher energy. As you visualize Swamiji in your inner space,
दो पग मिलिवा बसारी बगा का अंगूठा पकड़े लिलाट गोड़ा लगावे.
next up is Vedukasana. Now, keep your feet slightly apart and your knees slightly lifted off the ground as you bring your arms below and hold your feet from the outside. Lean forward and down as low as you can as you gaze up towards your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
प्रथम बेसे दो पाव बसारी कचक उर्द को करड़ो दारे.
Next up is Jalandhari Pavasana. Now join the soles of the feet together, keep the knees separated and bring your arms below the shins with the palms facing upwards as you place your chin on your feet. Gaze to your nose as you visualize Swamiji. Don't forget to breathe in Ujjayi Pranayama. Make an ocean-like sound with your mouth.
एड़ी महिला के दीजे हाथ बसारी.
Next up is Urdhva Paschimottanasana. Now, raise the left leg behind your neck and lean forward and down as you hold onto the front foot like in Paschimottanasana. If you can't bring the foot behind your neck, you can cross it over your leg or pull it towards your chest. Lean down and visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you breathe in Pratyahara Pranayama. And focus on 9 points of the body. Visualize the prana flowing upwards through those 9 points, which are the soles of the feet, the regenerative organ, the navel, the heart, the throat, the uvula, the center of the eyebrows, the top of the forehead, and the Brahmarandha, the crown of your head. Visualize the prana flowing upwards in golden light in Pratyahara Kumbhaka.
पश्चिमदानवत् संस्थितिं कृत्वा एकं पादं ग्रीवायां धृत्वा तिष्ठेत्. ऊर्ध्वपश्चिमतानं भवति.
Now, with your legs still behind your neck, lean backwards, lay down, keep your body straight. Hold onto the foot behind your head with the opposite hand. As you gaze to the tip of your nose, visualize your infinite, endless, eternal in Anantasana.
उत्तानचैनी एकैकम्पायी ग्रीवायां विन्यस्य इतरहस्तं कर्णमूले स्थापयेत्.
Next up is Ankushasana. From Anantasana, roll onto the side of the hand which is holding the foot. Rest on your side as you feel in complete control in this asana.
उत्तानशयिता एकैकं पादं ग्रीवायां कुर्वन् इतरहस्तं कर्णमूले स्थापयेत् तस्यैव हस्तस्य कुर्परो भूमौ निधाय इतरहस्तपादौ सरलिक्ष्य तिष्ठेत् अङ्कुशासनं भवति.
The next asana is Drushasana. Now lay on your back and hold your knees against your chest. Encircle your legs with your hands and rock your body from side to side, giving massage to your spine in a very comfortable manner, relaxing from this intense asanas as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
उत्तानशयनं जानुने हृदयवस्थम्भजङ्गसस्थौ वृणीकरद्वये बद्ध्वा सव्यापसव्यं लोडयेत् शासनं भवति.
Now repeat Urdhva Paschimottanasana on the other side. Bring the right leg behind your neck. Lean forward and down. Hold on to the front foot with both hands as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
पश्चिमतानव संस्थितिं कृत्वा एकं पादं ग्रीवायां धृत्वा तिष्ठेत् ऊर्ध्वपश्चिमतानं भवति.
Now lean back in Anantasana, keeping the opposite leg extended. Gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize yourself being unending Ananta.
उत्तानशयिनी एकैकं पायी ग्रीवायां विन्यस्य इतरहस्तेन पावाग्रं गृहीत्वा.
Next up is Ankushasana. With the legs still behind your neck, roll onto the side. Feel in complete control as you gaze to your nose.
उत्तानशयिता एकैकं पादं ग्रीवायां कुर्वन् इतरहस्तं कर्णमूले स्थापयेत् तस्यैव हस्तस्य कुर्परो भूमौ निधाय इतरहस्तपादौ सरलिक्ष्य तिष्ठेत् अङ्कुशासनं भवति.
The next asana is Yoga Nidrasana. As you lay on your back, lift both legs behind your neck one by one. If you can't bring the legs behind your neck, you can pull them against your chest. Open up your hips intensely as you gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
पादाभ्यां वेष्टयेत् कण्ठं हस्ताभ्यां पृष्ठबन्धनं तन्मध्ये शयनं कुर्यात् योगनिद्रा सुखप्रदा.
Next up is Atmaramasana. As you lay on your back, bring both the legs over top of the shoulders and hook your arms around them as you interlock the fingers behind. Now, visualize Lord Vishnu blessing you from within as you gaze to the tip of your nose in Shambhavi Mudra.
आत्माराम आसन प्रथम सुदोत्सवे.
Next up is Kochikasana. As you lay on your back, now pull your feet up against your chest. Keep the soles of the feet pointing upwards as you extend the arms out to the side. Gaze to your third eye as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space and keep breathing in Pratyahara Pranayama.
दो हाथ सीधा सा करे तिनस उबे सपा करे पग ऊंचाई आगाने आने बहुरी युगति है ऐसे विधिमाने.
From Kochikasana, we move on to Jatara Parivditi. This asana consists of 3 steps, which we are going to perform on both sides. First, we are going to enter a neutral position, which is laying on the back with the arms extended to the side and the knees pulled against the chest. Now, drop one knee to the respective side and extend the opposite leg straight down. This is the first step. Then bend both knees to the side. This is the second step. And then extend both legs to the side and hold on to the feet with your hand as you gaze in the opposite direction of the feet. Visualize Swamiji, contract the perineal floor and Mula Bandha.
परिवृत्ति कुक्षिबाहि त्रिदाहि परिकीर्तकं बद्धकोणं सुप्तकोणं ऊर्ध्वकोणमतापि च.
Now we turn to the neutral position. Pull your knees against the chest. Arms extended to the side. Now drop the other leg to the side. Extend the opposite leg down. Step 1. Bring both knees bent to the side. Step 2. Extend both your legs to the side, hold them with your hand and gaze away from the feet. Step 3.
प्रतिक्रियायुतं द्वन्द्वापि तत्सर्वबलप्रदं गर्भिणीनां दुर्बलामि इति गार्गी जगादनो.
The next asana is Dviparapitam. As you lay on your back, with your feet flat on the ground, knees raised, hold onto your ankles with your hands and push your hips up. Lock your throat in Jalandhara Bandha and breathe in Murcha Kumbhaka as you gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize yourself as sturdy as a bridge.
प्रतिक्रियायुतं द्वन्द्वापि तत्सर्वबलप्रदं गर्भिणीनां दुर्बलामि इति गार्गी जगादनो.
Next up is Paryankasana. As you keep your feet flat on the mat, bring your hands over your shoulders with the fingers pointing towards your feet. And now push your hands into the mat, lifting your entire body off the ground. Walk your feet as close towards your hands as you can, as you visualize yourself as sturdy as stone furniture, and breathe calmly through your nose in Sahaja Kumbhaka in Paryankasana.
उत्तानशयनं मत्सलाभ्यां भूमिमौष्टभ्यपातलाभ्यां भूमिं धृत्वा नाभिप्रदेशम् ऊर्ध्वं कुर्यात् पर्यङ्कासनं भवति.
Next up is Shvottanasana. As you lay on your back, pull your knees against your chest and place your hands on the respective shoulders. Now rotate your hips in a circular motion and visualize yourself as a dog playfully rolling around on its back.
शवशरीरं संस्थाप्य जानुनी सम्मील्य नाभौ आनीये हस्ताभ्यां कन्दरां बद्ध्वा भ्रामयेत् श्वत्तानं भवति.
The next asana is Viparita Karani. Laying on your back, lift your legs up completely. Keep your hands and arms flat on the mat for support. As you rotate your legs in a circular motion, visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Keep breathing in Murcha Kumbhaka.
अथ विपरीतकरणी मुद्रा भूतले सुशिरौ दत्त्वा.
Next up is Viparita Karani 2. Now stop the movement of your legs. Be stable. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
करणी विपरीता क्या सर्वादिव्यादिनाशिनी नित्यम् अभ्यासयुक्तस्य जाठराग्नि विवर्धनी.
Next up is Langalasana. Now lower your legs down to the mat and then bring your hip back up to bring your feet over top of your head with the toes touching the ground above you. Now interlock your hands behind your back in Parusha Mudra and place them on the mat as you visualize yourself as a plow.
ग्रीवागण्डेन भूमिं विस्तम्भ पादाग्रद्वयम् ऊर्ध्वमुन्नयेत् नरकासनं भवति.
The next asana is Shaita Paschimottanasana. Laying on your back with your legs over top of your head, now hold onto your feet. Keep your arms and legs straight. As you breathe in Murcha Kumbhaka, this is one of the 84 different asanas revealed directly by Paramashiva himself. Visualize Paramashiva in your inner space and internally repeat the japa Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
तानं शयित्वात् कुर्वीत शयितपश्चिमतानकम्.
We move on to Supta Konasana. From the same position, now bring your hips above the shoulder level and then open your legs wide as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
परिवृत्ते कोक्षिबाहि त्रिदाय परकीर्तकं बद्धकोणं सुप्तकोणम् ऊर्ध्वकोणमथापि च.
Next up is Chakrasana. From the same asana, now hold on to your ankles and then roll onto your back As you keep your legs straight, visualize yourself as a chakra, a wheel, and breathe in Mudra Kumbhaka.
शवासनस्तद्वौ पादौ कुर्यान्मस्तकतः परौ व्युत्क्रमेण ततः शीघ्रम् एतत् सर्वस्य साधनं चक्रासने गुल्मप्रियः वातरोगादिनाशनम्.
Next up is Supta Prasarita Parangushtasana. As you lay on your back, raise your legs up vertically and hold onto the big toes in Prana Mudra with index and middle fingers. As you hold the little and ring fingers with your thumb. Then open your legs wide to the side. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
Now join your feet back together. Keep holding on to the big toes in Prana Mudra as you visualize Swamiji in Supta Parangushtasana.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
Next up is Matsyasana. From Supta Parangushtasana, now cross your legs into Padmasana. Lay flat on your back with your legs in Padmasana. As you raise your arms above the head, hold on to opposite elbows with your hands. Gaze to your nose and visualize Matsya, the fish avatar of Lord Vishnu, as you make an ocean-like sound with your mouth in Ujjayi Pranayama.
मुक्तपद्मासनं कृत्वा उत्तानशयनाच्चरेत् कूर्पराभ्यां शिरो वेत्स्य मत्स्यासनं तु रोगः.
From the same position, now place the back side of the right hand onto the left palm. Keep your palms facing upwards as you gaze to your nose with your legs in Padmasana, visualizing Lord Rama in your inner space in Parasharamasana.
प्रथमकरे पद्मासन आचे सुदोषो वे गोड़ा परिदाशे.
Next up is Sarvangasana. Maintain your legs in Padmasana. Bring your hands to the hips and raise your legs and hips up off the mat. Balance on your neck. Lock your throat in Jalandhara Bandha as you gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
अतः क्षेत्र संक्षेपात् सर्वांगासनमुत्तमं वित्कृत्वा योगनबनो विद्याभिः पण्डितो यदा.
We move on to Vrishikasana. Now place the right foot on the left thigh and pull the left knee towards your chest. Extend your arms up above your head. Hook the fingers forward as you gaze up to your third eye and visualize yourself as a scorpion.
प्रथमशयनसूनो शीर्षकेशकी सन्धि सुदाखे.
Now place the other foot on the opposite thigh. Repeat Vrishikasana on the other side.
प्रथमशयनसूनो शीर्षकेशकी सन्धि सुदाखे.
Next up is Vrishaparakshipasana. Now interlock your fingers behind your neck as you lay flat on your back. Lift your legs off the mat and alternate, pulling one knee in towards your chest back and forth. As you visualize Swamiji in your inner space, calmly breathe through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka.
श्वत्तान संस्कृते कृत्वा जानुद्वयं पर्यायेन कर्णयोः संस्पृशेत् मरोत्तानं भवति.
Next up is Marottanasana. Laying on your back, keep your hands next to the hips as you alternate touching your ears with the respective knees. Pull your knees up again and again. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
अथ उत्तानशयनं पायतलाभ्यां भूमिं धृत्वा उत्तिष्ठेत् वृकासनं भवति.
Next up is Vrikasana. As you lay on your back, now place your feet flat on the mat, then stand up and lay back down again and again as you visualize yourself as a wolf.
उत्तानशयनं पादौ शिरो लङ्गौ भूमौ स्थापयित्वा निब्जं भूयाति निब्जं शयनं वृष्टिं भूमौ निधाय पुनः पुनः पर्ययेन कर्तव्यं लुतानं भवति.
The next asana is Lutasana. As you lay down on your back, kick your legs over and roll over all the way, ending in a prone position as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
निब्जं शयनं कृत्वा नाभिं भूमौ निधाय
As you now lay on your stomach, keep your hands next to the shoulders. Contract your lips, make a whistling sound with your mouth like a flute as you visualize yourself as a chariot carrying warriors into a battle for Dharma on your chariot back in Sarathasana.
हस्तद्वयं बद्ध्वा तन्मध्ये चरणद्वयम् उड्डानेव बहिरानय अतः नये देहल्युल्लङ्घनं भवति.
Next up is Dehal Yolanganasana. Now, push your body up into a plank position and jump your feet in between the hands back and forth as you visualize yourself transcend body and mind.
हस्तद्वयं बद्ध्वा तन्मध्ये चरणद्वयम् उड्डानेव बहिरानयः अतः नये देहल्युल्लङ्घनं भवति.
The next asana is Jatyasana. Now stand erect on the mat and place your hands on the ground in front of you as you walk around on your hands and feet, visualizing yourself as a wise 60-year-old elephant.
अत जाट्यासनं वक्ष्ये येन जातिस्मरो भवेत्.
We move on to Lolitika Karana. Now stand on the mat with your heels touching and raise your arms to shoulder level. Rotate your arms around the body as you lean back and rotate your head in all directions. We move on to Sarapasana. As you stand erect on the mat, keep your feet close together and press your arms against your body. Keep your elbows and your hands flat against your body. As you visualize your Kundalini Devi raising and curling upwards around your body, tie your feet with a rope if you have one available and stand erect on the mat. As you breathe calmly through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka, lead the prana along your spine and perform the Mula Bandha, preventing the Kundalini Shakti from falling down again after it's being raised.
अथ सर्पासनं वक्ष्ये वायुपानाय केवलं शरीरं तदवत्तिष्ठेत् रज्जुबद्धस्तु पादयो यावयी कूडली देवी कूडलाकारमङ्गुले.
Next up is Ushra Sadhanasana. As you stand on the mat, lean forward and down and hold your feet from the front. Step your toes onto your fingers and walk around on the mat as you visualize yourself as a camel.
मुष्टिकनिष्ठिकाप्रदेशेन भूमौ निधाय उपरिपादले संस्थाप्य अश्ववत् शरीरं ज्वलनीयम् अश्वासनं भवति.
Next up is Ashvasana. From the same posture, now hold the toes from the side. As you lean forward and down, walk around on the mat, visualizing yourself as a horse, Ashva.
मुष्टिकनिष्ठिकाप्रदेशेन भूमौ निधाय उपरिवातले संस्थाप्य अश्ववत् शरीरं चलनीयम् आश्वासनं भवति.
Next up is Kapota Nidakasana. As you visualize yourself as a soaring bird diving, interlock your fingers behind your body and lean backwards as far as you can. Tilt your head back. Open up your chest widely as you visualize yourself as a soaring bird. Breathe calmly in Sahadra Kumbhaka.
पातले भूमौ निधाय पृष्ठभागेन हस्तौ जङ्घापर्यन्तं नीत्वा कपोतनिटकं भवति.
We move on to Talapushpaputam Karana. Keep your heels touching your toes, pointing slightly outwards. Your knees bent. Join your hands in Namaskara Mudra and bow down to one side, opening up the palms and raising the respective heel off the ground again and again. Visualize yourself holding a bouquet of flowers and offering it to Paramashiva.
नुजा सर्दमासनं कृत्वा पातलाभ्योः.
We move on to Khadgasana. As you stand on the mat, visualize yourself as a rhinoceros. Gaze to the tip of your nose, then lay down on your stomach and jump your feet back up towards your hands and stand with your hands in Namaskara Mudra, resembling the horn of the rhinoceros.
नुजा सर्दमासनं कृत्वा पातलाभ्यो भूमिम् अवष्टभ्य उत्तिष्ठेत्. खड्गासनं भवति.
Next up is the Uttanottanam. As you stand on the mat, now sit down all the way or as low as you can and stand back up again and again. Gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space. You can hold weights if you want to intensify this asana.
पुनः पुनः उत्थातव्यम् आसितव्यम् इति उत्थानोत्थानं भवति.
Next up is Musalasana. Now raise your arms up above your head and jump repeatedly as you visualize yourself as a mace.
सरलं स्थित्वा ऊर्ध्वं बाहु नयेत् वारं वारम् उड्डानं कुर्यात्. मत्स्य मुसलासनं भवति.
Next up is Utsheshakasana. Now pull one foot against your chest and sit down and stand back up with the opposite leg, repeating alternatingly on both sides. As you gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space, breathe in Sahadra Kumbhaka.
हस्तद्वयेन धृत्वा तिष्ठेत्.
Next up is Parshvajanu Karana. As you stand with one foot pointing out to the side, the knee slightly bent, raise the other knee against your chest and circle the raised leg with your arm, keeping the hand in a fist as you place the opposite hand on the inner thigh with the fingers pointing inwards. Next up is Tandavasana. As you keep your arms and one leg extended forward, visualize yourself fiercely dancing as Lord Shiva. And sit down and stand back up in Tandavasana.
एकेन पादेन स्थातव्यं. ताण्डवासनं भवति.
Next up is Brahmanasana. Now place the raised foot to the inner opposite thigh. Keep your hands relaxed by the side as you visualize Lord Brahma blessing you from within.
ब्राह्मणासनमावक्ष्य यत् कृत्वात् ब्राह्मणो भवेत्.
Next up is Garudasana 3. Now bring the raised foot around the opposite knee and bring the left arm underneath the right, placing your hands in Namaskara Mudra as you visualize yourself as Lord Garuda.
उत्तानकौर्मपीठं च संहस्गारुडमेव च वातायनं गोमुखं च भारद्वाजं त्रिविक्रमम्.
Next up is Ekapadasana. Now place the left foot onto the right thigh. Stand erect on one leg. As you keep the hands relaxed by the side, visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you calmly breathe through your nose in Sahasrara Kumbhaka and contract the perineal floor in Mula Bandha.
दक्षाग्रं वामपादस्य जङ्घोपरिनिधाय च
The next asana is Dhuruvasana, the pole-star posture. Now hold on to the left big toe as you extend the left leg out to the side and rotate quickly on the standing leg as you visualize yourself as the North Pole star.
एकेन हस्तेन दण्डरूपस्य एकस्य पादस्याग्रं धृत्वा
The next asana is Trivikramasana, the 3 steps of Lord Vishnu. Now bring your leg behind your neck, if you can, or bring it up towards your chest, over your shoulder, or cross it over your knee. As you then stand up on the mat, sit down, and stand back up visualizing Lord Vishnu.
एकेन पादेन स्थातव्यम् उत्थातव्यं ग्रीवायां पादं संस्थाप्य स्थातव्यम् उत्थातव्यं त्रिविक्रमासनं भवति
Now repeat Parshvajanukarana on the other side. We move on to Tandavasana on the other side. Now extend both the arms and the opposite leg as you sit down and stand back up, visualizing yourself fiercely dancing as Lord Shiva.
एकेन पादेन स्थातव्यं ताण्डवासनं भवति
Now repeat Brahmanasana. Bring the right foot to the inner left thigh. Stand erect on the mat like a rod. Keep your hands next to the knees. Visualize Lord Brahma blessing you from within.
ब्राह्मणासनमावक्ष्ये यत् कृत्वात् ब्राह्मणो भवेत्
Now repeat Garudasana 3 on the other side. Now hook the right foot over the left knee and bring the toes behind. Cross the right arm below the left. And join your hands in Namaskara Mudra as you visualize yourself as Lord Garuda.
उत्तानकूर्मपीठं च संहसगारुडमेव च वातायनं गोमुखं च भारद्वाजं त्रिविक्रमम्
Now repeat Ekapadasana on the other side. Bring the right foot onto the left thigh. Stand erect on the mat like a rod. And visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दक्षाग्रं वामपादस्य जङ्घोपरिनिधाय च
Now repeat Dhuruvasana on the other side. Now hold the right big toe and rotate on the left leg, visualizing yourself as the North Pole star.
एकेन हस्तेन दण्डरूपस्य एकस्य पादस्याग्रं धृत्वा
Next up is Samanaka Karana. As you stand erect on the mat like a rod, keep your heels together, the arms slightly extended away from the body, fingers pointing one by one in this natural posture. Recover from this intense sequence of asanas as we get ready for the final 100 asanas of this sequence. Starting off with Gorak Anjali Asana. Now stand on the mat. Squat down and bring your arms in between the legs, interlocking the fingers in Parasha Mudra. As you bring the finger lock towards your navel, visualize the great sage Goraknath, founder of the Natha Yoga Hindu Sampradaya. As you breathe in Jivachala Kumbhaka, inhale all the way, hold your breath, and then move the retained prana freely through your system, upwards and downwards and through your limbs by the force of your will alone. Move the prana with your will.
प्रथमहि बोहोय बाहुरीनी च उपनिहोवे
Next up is Kanji Asana. As you squat down all the way, bring your arms behind your buttocks, interlocked in Parasha Mudra. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you do so.
ऊर्वज्ञातस्सो निवेश्यानि तम्बं धृत्वा पातलाभ्यां भूमिम् अवष्टभ्य तिष्ठेत् काञ्च्यासनं भवति.
Next up is Bhaidu Asana. Now sit down on the ground with the feet flat and the heels against your perineum. Then bring your arms behind and interlock them behind the buttocks in Parasha Mudra. As you gaze downwards towards your navel, visualize Bhagavan Kala Bhairava, the Lord of Time.
दो बगा की ताली की माहिली का और मिलावे पना पानी हुकड़ मड़ू वैसे.
The next asana is Varahasana. As you sit with your feet flat, bring your arms behind your neck in Anjali Mudra with the fingers pointing downwards as you keep your back straight. Gaze towards the tip of your nose and visualize yourself as Varaha, the boar avatar of Lord Vishnu in Varahasana.
पगदली की माहिली का और मिलावे पना पानी हुकड़ बेसे.
Next up is Kripitasana. As you squat down, hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra and then raise your hips to the same level as your knees. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you breathe in Jivachala Kumbhaka.
अत उत्तान आसनानि पार्श्वद्वये सम्मिल्य स्थित्वा नितम्बं जान प्रदेश आनीय तिष्ठेत् प्रयासनं भवति.
Next up is Bakasana. Place your hands flat on the mat, shoulder width apart. Bring your knees onto your arms as you lean forward. Lift your feet up and balance on your arms as you visualize yourself as a crow.
हस्ताभ्याम् औनिमष्टं बाजानुद्वये सम्मील्य जङ्घोरी संस्थाप्य तिष्ठेत् बकासनं भवति.
The next asana is Sushtanga Kapali Asana. As you keep your hands flat on the mat, place your knees onto your arms, your head on the ground, and raise your legs up, then crossing them into Padmasana. Gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
आसन की गुण कपाल आचव होई.
Next up is Guptasana. Now sit in a kneeling posture with your heels outside the hips. Keep your toes touching behind your body as you place your hands on the knees. gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize you are sitting in the secret seat with Paramashiva and Guru as you internally chant Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
जानर्वोरन्तरे पादौ कृत्वा पादौ च कोपयेत् पादोपरि च संस्थाप्य गूढं गुप्तासनं विदुः.
The next asana is Vrikshasana too. As you place your hands flat on the mat, raise your legs up into a handstand. You can lean against the wall for support or ask a partner to assist you as you raise your legs up into a handstand and cleanse all the 7 chakras in this asana. Visualize yourself as a tree with deep roots growing into the ground.
सप्तचक्रक्षालनाय वृक्षासनविशेषकान् ज्ञानेन्द्रियसमाध्याय घोरभेदान् समभ्यसेत्.
Next up is Shiva Asana. In the same posture, bring your hands and feet closer together, gaze upwards towards your third eye, and visualize Tejas energy flowing towards your third eye.
दो बगजो इमा ही गुल्प मिलाए.
Gently lower your body down and place your forearms on the ground. Come to a plank position as you step your feet back. Lower your body down and push it back up again and again as you visualize yourself as a fish in Matsyasana too.
निब्जं शयनं कूर्परो पार्श्वभागायां मृड्वा कृत्य हस्तदलाभ्यां ओमिम् अवष्टं वारं वारम् उड्डानं कुर्यात् मत्स्यासनं भवति.
Now lay down flat on your stomach. Keep your hands on the hips and lift your chest from left to right as you visualize and move your body like a snake in Sarpasana too.
निब्जं शयनं कृत्वा स्तवनितं संस्थाप्य पादोदिगीर्त्य सम्मील्य वर्तकन्तव्यं सर्पासनं भवति.
We move on to the next asana. Place your elbows on the mat in front of you and bring your hands in Padma Mudra, the lotus mudra, as you rest your chin on the hands, point your toes back, lay flat on your stomach, and feel self-supported and completely independent in Niralambanasana.
कराभ्यां पङ्कजं कृत्वा तिष्ठेत् कूर्परया सुखी मुखमुन्नमनुच्चायि निरालम्बनमासनम्.
Next up is Chakrasana. As you lay on your stomach, now place your hands flat on the mat and bend your knees to bring the feet up, straighten your arms to bring your upper back closer towards the feet. Lean backwards as you visualize yourself as an umbrella protecting your guru from the sun rays in Chakrasana.
अर्ध्यासनवस्थित्वा हस्तदलाभ्यां भूमिम् अवष्टभ्यम् उन्नया छत्रासनं भवति.
The next asana is Vajrasana. As you sit on your heels with the feet flat in a kneeling posture, extend your arms out in front, place your palms and your forehead on the ground in front of you. As you gaze to the tip of your nose, visualize yourself as Vajra, the weapon of Indra, symbolizing indestructibility.
इदानीं गर्भिणीनां योगाभ्यासो यथा लघु सुखप्रसवलाभाय प्रोच्यते प्राक्तने पति.
Next up is Meshasana. From Gajasana position with your hands flat, your hips raised up all the way, alternate striking the ground with your hands as you visualize yourself as powerful as a ram.
गजासनं संस्थौ एकैकं बाहुं भूमौ ताडयेत् मेषासनं भवति.
The next asana is Ajasana. As you place your hands flat on the mat, in Gajasana, raise your legs up and slowly lower your forehead towards the ground as you visualize yourself as unborn, existing for all eternity.
गजासने संस्थितौ पादद्वयं ममतरालये कृत्यमस्तकेन भूमिं स्पृष्टा अजासनं भवति.
The next asana is Dhanantarasana. Now sit in a kneeling posture and interlock your fingers around the big toe, pulling them close towards the perineum. Then place your hands onto your thighs and gaze to the tip of your nose as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Breathe in Ujjayi Pranayama.
पूर्वविधि परिहादा की काकसी शव बना शरामोड़ी पगा की अंगुली अग्रमेरु लगावे.
Next up is the Anga Muttanam. Now interlace your fingers in front. Move your arms left, right, up, down in all directions, giving massage to various different joints and muscles of your body. Then repeat the movement behind your back as well as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
हस्तयोरङ्गुलिर्बद्ध्वा हस्तयोर्मध्यात् सर्वं ममङ्गं निश्चित्य तिष्ठेत् अङ्गमोत्तनम्.
The next asana is Garudasana 4. Now sit in Vajrasana on your heels and then turn your feet outwards so the toes are pointing to the side. Now visualize yourself as Lord Garuda, flying Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi on his back.
जङ्गोरुभ्यां दरां पीड्यस्तिर्कयोद्युजानुनो जानुपरिक्करद्वन्द्वा गरुडासनमुच्यते.
The next asana is Ananda Mandirasana. Now, sit with your knees wide, the feet flat on the ground, on your ankles. As you hold the ankles, bring the front of your buttocks down on the ground. As you gaze up towards your third eye, visualize yourself residing in the blissful space of a temple in Ananda Mandirasana.
अथवक्षे वीरनाथ आनन्दमन्दिरासनं यत्कृत्वा अमरो धीरो भवत्येवेह साधकः.
Next up is Mandukasana 2. Now overlap your feet behind as you sit on your ankles and place your hands underneath the knees. Press your tongue up flat against the palate of your mouth in Manduki Mudra as you visualize yourself as a frog catching the nectar of immortality dripping from your Sahasrara chakra with your frog tongue. Now breathe in Ujjayi Pranayama and lock the perineal floor and your navel in Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
पृष्ठं सम्पीड्य गुल्पाभ्यां जान्वङ्गे सवलयाकृतिः.
Next up is Narasimhasana. As you tuck your toes, sit on the raised heel, and place your hands flat on the mat in front. Bring your thumbs together, gaze to the tip of your nose and stick your tongue out as you exhale forcefully again and again. Visualize Narasimha, the lion man avatar of Lord Vishnu.
दो बना पानी होए वैसे एडी मिलार गोना निवेसे स्म शरीर नीका ठहरावे नासा अग्र दृष्टि को ल्याबे.
Next up is Vishrakasana. Maintain the same posture, but now cover your mouth and nose with your hands as you bring your thumbs underneath the teeth. Inhale through the right nostril and exhale through your mouth as per your capacity. As you gaze to the tip of your nose, visualize yourself as Devi, victorious over all your fears.
दो पगा की एडी जोई गाड़ा फनम वामन पुनि होई.
Next up is Makadasana. Now bring the top of the feet flat on the mat, the soles of the feet together, toes pointing backwards. As you raise your arms, bend your elbows, and bring your fingers towards your armpits, imitate as if you are a monkey scratching itself. As you gaze to your third eye and visualize yourself as a playful monkey.
दो भगदरी संबुड आने तिनके पिष्टि भूमि परिटाने मूलद्वार एड्यां परिल्यावे मूढ़ा हाथ पूछा ठहरावे.
Next up is Vajrasangarasana. Now tuck your toes, bring the soles of the feet together, and raise your knees off the ground, knees wide apart. As you hold onto opposite elbows behind your back, gaze to the tip of the nose, and embody diamond-like strength for you and your Sangha, your spiritual community.
प्रतपना पानी होय बेसे दो वेड़ी गूढ़ानि वैसे.
The next asana is Kanjanasana. Now sit and cross the feet behind as you sit on your heels. Keep your knees on the ground and then place your hands flat on the mat next to you. Now gaze to your nose and visualize perfect health beyond any and all physical or mental ailments. As you breathe in Ujjayi Pranayama and perform Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha in Kanjanasana.
कञ्जनासनमावक्ष्येत् कृत्वा सुस्थिरो भवेत्.
Next up is Kurmasana. Now maintain the same posture, but place your hands on the knees. Lock your upper back and neck, make it stiff like the shell of a turtle. As you visualize yourself as a turtle with a stable body and mind to live for centuries, gazing to the tip of your nose in Kurmasana.
गुल्पोद्वर्षणस्यादौ वित्क्रमेण समाहितौ ऋजकायशिरो ग्रीवं कूर्मासनमिति ईरितम्.
The next asana is Yogasana. Now relax your upper back and neck. Keep your hands on the knees. Maintain the same position. Gaze to your nose in Shambhavi Mudra with eyes open wide as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
गूढं नियम्य गुल्पाभ्यां वित्क्रमेण समाहितः योगासनं भवेदेति इति योगविदो विदुः.
Next up is Vijyogasana. Now stand on the knees and cross your feet behind. Now bring the feet to the opposite knees and hold your calves with the fingers inside and the thumbs outside as you gaze up towards your third eye and visualize a space of eternal oneness, Advaita, with your Guru.
गूढं मम्नो उभौ होयि गोडा आधारा केदो ईद छुपादा की पानी रहावे पनौ वाम गोडा दिगिल्यावे.
The next asana is Ushtrasana too. Now keep your feet flat, hold your ankles in a kneeling position as you lean back, push your hips forward and tilt your head back as you visualize yourself as a camel.
मेरुदण्डग्रन्थिदाढ्यः संविपादैः शिफ्यमान् कपोतोष्ट्रासनाभ्यासं कुर्यान्वितहितासनः.
Next up is Jatyasana too. With your heels and knees together, hold onto the soles of your feet and lean backwards. First, place your elbows and then the back of your head on the mat. As you gaze to your nose and visualize yourself as a lotus blooming.
दो वेड़ी संबुड करे सोले मूलद्वारि दरिदरे.
The next asana is Viratasana. Now, with your knees and heels together, lean back, place your back on the mat and raise back up again and again. You can use the support of your hands if needed, as you gaze to your nose and visualize the healing and liberation of all causal, subtle forms of your body.
जंगाप्ति भूमो निदाय जंगोदरयोः ऊर्णी संस्थाप्य पृष्ठिवं संवारं वारं स्पृशेत् विराटासनं भवति.
The next asana is Kapotasana. As you sit in a kneeling posture with your feet flat, hold onto your feet as you lean backwards all the way. Bring your arms above your shoulders and place your forearms on the ground, and then bring your head in between the feet if you can. Lean back as far as you can as you visualize yourself as a beautiful dove.
मेरुदण्डग्रन्थिदाढ्यः संविपादे शुष्मान् कपोतोष्ट्रासनाभ्यासं कुर्यान्वितहितासनः.
Next up is Varasana. Now stand on your knees with the toes tucked and hold on to opposite elbows in front of your body. As you gaze to the tip of your nose, this is the boon-fulfilling posture. Receive your boon from Paramashiva. As you breathe in Ujjayi Pranayama, perform the Mula Bandha and internally chant Om Nityananda Paramashivoham in Varasana.
जानुनी भूमौ संस्थाप्य हस्ताभ्यां बाहुपरस्परं धृत्वा सरलं तिष्ठेत् वरासनं भवति.
The next asana is Varahasana too. Now, keep your toes tucked, lean forward, place your forearms on the ground as you rest your head on your hands. Visualize yourself as Varaha, the boar avatar of Lord Vishnu, in Varahasana too.
सूर्यं चन्द्रं वेदनानि कथयन्ते कोर्परो भूमौ स्थापयित्वा.
Now, from the kneeling posture, place your forearms on the ground, shoulder width apart, interlock your fingers, place your head on the mat, hold your head for support, walk your feet forward, raise your hips, and then lift your legs up into a headstand posture. You can lean against a wall for support or ask a partner to assist you. As you breathe calmly in Sahajra Kumbhaka through your nose, gaze to your nose, and visualize yourself as a lop tree in Mundasana.
अदो मुण्डासनं वक्ष्ये सर्वेषां प्राणिनां सुखम् ऊर्ध्वमार्गे पदे दत्त्वा धारयन् मारुतं सिद्धिः.
Gently lower your body down, come to a kneeling posture with your feet flat, bring your head in between the knees. As you hold your head with both hands, elbows outside the knees, gazing to your nose, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through your mouth in Andhasana as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
प्रथम भगदलीय समठहरावे कोरमाहिली उभय मिलावे.
We move on to Viparita Shalabhasana. Now lay down on your stomach and bring your arms up above your head. You can hold on to weights if you want to intensify this asana. As you visualize yourself as a locust, now raise your legs, arms, and upper body off the mat completely.
शलभासन भेदाश्च नतभेरुण्ड नामके गन्धभेरुण्ड शैते शीर्षदण्डासनं तथा.
Next up is Kapalasana. Keep your hands next to your hips. Place your forearms on the ground and place your forehead on the mat. As you lift your legs up together, visualize a skull representing the mind with purified thoughts and a strong will to attain enlightenment. As you breathe calmly through your nose in Sahajra Kumbhaka.
कपालं भूमौ निधाय ऊर्ध्वं पादौ नयेत् कपालासनं भवति.
The next asana is Akasha Kapotasana. As you keep your arms flat on the mat, raise your hips up and bring your feet over top of your head. Try to touch your toes to the ground in front of you. as you visualize yourself as a free and open dove. Calmly breathe through your nose in Sahasrara Kumbhaka as you contract the perineal floor in Mula Bandha.
उष्ट्रासने स्थित्वा चरणौ भूमेरुत्थाप्य मस्तकोपरि नीत्वा पृष्ठभागेशेन भूमौ स्थापयेत् आकाशकपोतं भवति.
The next asana is Chatakasana. Now, in a kneeling posture, place your forearms on the ground. Lean forward and down. Bring your navel to the knees. Be sturdy as you visualize yourself as a sparrow.
पूर्वरापर्यन्तौ हस्तौ धरामौष्टिभ्यजानुनीनाभो सङ्कुच्य तिष्ठेतं चरकासनं भवति.
Next up is Vrishchikasana 2. With your forearms on the ground, now raise your hips above your body. Bring your legs forward. Try to touch the back of your head with your feet. As you balance on your arms, visualize yourself as a scorpion.
व्यश्चीव पुच्छः प्रतिमाङ्घ्रिपार्श्वे धृत्वा सुशीर्षे च बुकं विदार्य कौ यत्रेति सन्तिष्ठति साधकस्त्वभुषापहं वृश्चिकसन्निकमासनम्.
Next up is Vrishasana. Now place your perineum onto the right heel and keep the left foot outside the hip. Place your hands in front of the knees. As you visualize yourself as a bull, gaze outwards in Vaishnavi Mudra without focusing on any external object. Now, forcefully inhale through your nose. Hold the breath for a short while and then slowly exhale again through the nose in Antarangaka Kumbhaka as you contract the perineal floor in Mula Bandha in Vrishasana, the bull posture.
याम्यगल्पे पादमूले वामभागे पदेतरं विपरीतं स्पृशेत् भूमिं वृषासनमिदं भवेत्.
Next up is Lolasana. Now push your hands into the ground and raise your knees up off the mat. Bring the toes of the left foot over top of the right as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
लोलासनं सदा कुर्यात् वायुलोलापकादनात्.
Now repeat Vrishasana on the other side. Place your perineum on the left heel. Keep the right foot outside the hip as you visualize yourself as a bull.
याम्यगल्पे पादमूले वामभागे पदेतरं विपरीतं स्पृशेत् भूमिं वृषासनमिदं भवेत्.
The next asana is Balagunasana. Now tuck the toes of the left foot and sit on the raised left heel. Place the right foot flat on the mat in front of you. Raise the right knee against your chest. Keep your hands on the respective knees as you visualize Balagunahai, one of the 84 siddhas in your inner space.
पादले भूमौ संस्थाप्य हस्ताभ्यां बाहुपरस्परं धृत्वा
Next up is Grahasana. Now stand up and squat down as you bring your arms in between the legs and outwards, then holding on to the ankles from the outside as you visualize yourself as the entire planet.
आसनिकौ गुणजलविकारजायी.
Now repeat Balagunasana on the other side. Tuck the right toe, sit on the right heel, visualize Balagunahai.
आसनिकौ गुणजलविकारजायी.
Next up is Utkatasana. Now sit on both the raised heels. Keep your knees together and off the ground. Hands on top of the knees. You can hold on to weights if you want to intensify this asana as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
युजोस्ति यत ऊर्ध्वजानु यत्रासने.
Next up is Vajrasangarasana 2. Keep the soles of the feet together, the knees opened wide, lifted off the ground as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Hold on to opposite elbows behind your back.
प्रथमपनापानि होय सिद्धो वेरि गूढानि वेशे.
Next up is Anilasana. Now place both your hands flat on the mat and step your heels onto your hands. Squat down all the way, keep your arms straight and gaze to your nose as you visualize you are able to live off of air alone.
दो हाथ भूमि पर डाले कहूनी जारी नाभि लगाने.
Next up is Padukasana. Now stand up tall. Place the backside of your hands on the mat in front of your feet. Step your feet onto your fingers. Wrap your hands around the feet like shoes. And walk around on the mat, visualizing yourself wearing padukas walking across India.
हस्ततलयोः पादले कृत्वा तिष्ठेत् गच्छेत् पादुकासनं भवति.
Next up is Kukkutoddanasana. As you place your hands flat on the mat, kick your legs up and let them fall back down again and again as you visualize yourself as a rooster.
हस्ततले भूमौ कृत्वा पादले च ऊर्ध्वं मुण्डानं कृत्वा भूमौ पतेत् इत्थं पुनः पुनः कुर्यात् कुक्कुटोड्डानं भवति.
Next up is Viparita Nityasana. As you keep your hands flat on the mat, kick your legs up and dance on two hands. Feel yourself become free of all inhibitions.
हस्ततले भूमिमवष्टभ्य ऊर्ध्वपादाग्रे कुर्वन् हस्ततलाभ्यां नर्तनं कर्तव्यं विपरीतनृत्यं भवति.
Next up is Kunjarasana. Now keep your feet separated, place one palm flat on the mat, keeping the arm straight and the opposite hand touching the face, as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
अथ वक्ष्ये महादेव कुञ्जरासनम् उत्तमं करेण ऐकेन पादाभ्यां भूमौ तिष्ठेत् शिरः करः.
Now repeat Kunjarasana on the other side, place the other hand flat on the mat.
अथ वक्ष्ये महादेव कुञ्जरासनम् उत्तमं करेण ऐकेन पादाभ्यां भूमौ तिष्ठेत् शिरः करः.
Next up is Karambasana. Now squat down all the way, sit down on the ground with the feet flat as you hold onto your ankles and then lift your feet off the mat. Visualize yourself as a Kadamba tree, a pious tree that promotes a long life. In Karambasana.
पार्श्वभ्यां भूमिम् अवष्टभ्य हस्तद्वयेन गुल्पा धृत्वा तिष्ठेत् कादम्ब भवति.
Next up is Pavana Muktasana. Sit down on the mat with your feet flat and pull opposite knees against your chest with your hands. Visualize any excess vata being released from or balanced within your system as you breathe calmly through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka.
पवनमुक्तासनद्वयोस्तु पादयोः पाणिं लात्वा स्वस्वनितम्बके जानुनि वक्षसि साधुर्बभ्रतीकरबन्धने.
The next asana is Chakodasana. Now bring the left leg behind your neck. Keep the opposite leg extended forward. Place your hands on the ground and lift your entire body off the mat as you gaze up towards your third eye and visualize yourself as a powerful source of energy.
द्वयोस्तु पादयोः पाणिं लात्वा स्वस्वनितम्बके जानुनि वक्षसि साधुर्बभ्रतीकरबन्धने.
Now keep the right leg extended. Hold on to both the big toes and prana mudra with the respective hand as you pull the left leg towards your ear and visualize yourself as a bow in Dhanurasana too.
पूर्वतानं चतुष्पादं पीठं वज्रासनं तथा च घोरक्रौञ्च शलभभुजङ्गमपि वृश्चिकम्.
Next up is Ashtavakrasana. Now bring the left leg over top of your shoulder and hook the right foot over top of the left as you extend both the legs out to the side and balance on your arms. Lean forward and down as you visualize yourself as a flying crane.
वाजिष्ठमतकौण्डिन्यं मूर्धकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमतोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Next up is Pranasana. Now bring the right foot onto the left thigh. Keep the left foot flat on the mat with the knee raised as you bring the left shoulder underneath the left knee. Push the right knee down with the right hand. Now gaze up towards your third eye and visualize you are immortal, able to exist solely from prana.
एतत् प्रभेदं वक्ष्यामि करोति यस्य चामरः एकपादमुरो बद्ध्वा सन्देन्यपादरक्षणम्.
Next up is Panchamatsindasana. Now bring the right foot to the left thigh and step the left foot over top of the right knee. Twist your body around the raised knee. Bring your arm below. Interlock your hands behind your back as you twist your spine. Gaze up towards your third eye and visualize Sage Matsyendana, the master of Hatha Yoga.
वामोर्मूलार्पितदक्षपादो जान्वोर्बहिर्वेष्टितदक्षदोष्णा.
Now repeat Chakodasana on the other side. Bring the right leg behind your neck. Extend the left and lift your entire body off the mat on your arms as you gaze to your third eye and visualize yourself as a powerful source of energy.
पूर्वदानं चतुष्पादं पीतं वज्रासनं तथा चकोरक्रौञ्च शलभभुजङ्गमपि वृश्चिकम्.
Next up is Dhanurasana 2 on the other side. Hold onto the big toes, pull the right foot towards your ear and visualize yourself as a bow.
पादाङ्गुष्ठौतमानिभ्यां गृहीत्वा श्रवणावधि धनुराकर्षकाकृष्टं धनुरासनमीरितम्.
Now repeat Ashtavakrasana on the other side. Bring the left foot over top, the right foot over top of the right shoulder, the left foot over top of the right foot. Extend both the legs out to the side as you lean forward and balance on your arms, visualizing yourself as a flying crane.
वासिष्ठमतकौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वगुप्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमतोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Now repeat Pranasana on the other side. Place the left foot on the right thigh, bring the right shoulder underneath the right knee. Press the left knee down and gaze up towards your third eye as you visualize you're immortal and able to exist solely on prana.
एतत् प्रभेदं वक्ष्यामि करोत्यस्य चामरः एकपादमुरो बद्ध्वा स्कन्देऽन्यपादरक्षणम्.
Now repeat Parshvamatsindrasana on the other side. Now bring the left foot to the right, hip the right foot over the left knee, twist the left shoulder around the raised knee, bring the arm below and interlock your fingers behind your back as you gaze to your third eye and visualize Sage Matsindana, the master of Hatha Yoga, in Parshvamatsindrasana on the other side.
वामोर्मूलार्पितदक्षपादो जान्वोर्बहिर्वेष्टितदक्षदोष्णा.
Next up is Ardha Paschimottanasana. Now extend one leg forward and press the perineum with the other heel. Lean forward and down and hold onto the front foot as in Paschimottanasana. As you gaze outwards in Vaishnavi Mudra, visualize Swamiji and move the retained prana internally in Jivachala Kumbhaka.
एकं पादं प्रसार्य एकं पादस्य पार्श्विनाश्विनी.
Next up is Kraunchasana. Now bring the left foot outside of the hip, hold on to the right foot and extend it up in front of your face. As you keep the knees straight, visualize yourself as a crane.
वासिष्ठमतकौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वगुप्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमतोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Now extend the left knee forward, press the perineum with the right heel, lean forward and down in Ardha Paschimottanasana on the other side.
एकं पादं प्रसार्य एकं पादस्य पार्श्विनाश्विनी.
Now bring the right foot outside the hip, lift the left knee, left foot in front of your face as you visualize yourself as a crane in Kraunchasana.
वासिष्ठमतकौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वगुप्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमतोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Next up is Swastikasana. Now sit with your feet in between the thighs and calves and gaze to your nose as you visualize a swastika in your inner space. Place your hands on the knees.
जानर्वोरन्तरे सम्यक् कृत्वा पातले उभे.
Next up is Gorakshasana. Maintain the same posture with your feet in between the legs. Tuck your chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha as you gaze to your nose and visualize the great sage Goraknath, founder of the Natha Yoga Hindu Sampradaya.
जानर्वोरन्तरे पादौ उत्थानो व्यक्तसंस्थौ.
Next up is Bhagasana 2. Now press your left heel against the perineum and place the right foot onto the left thigh. As you gaze up towards your third eye, visualize Swamiji and meditate on Arihanta, the enlightened one. As you get ready to enter Shanmukhi Mudra, close your mouth with little and ring fingers, the nose with the middle fingers, eyes with the index fingers, ears with the thumbs. in Bhagasana 2.
वामपार्श्वगुणं संस्थाप्य दक्षाग्रं वामजगने.
Next up is Yogasana 2. Now, place your feet onto opposite knees, gaze to your nose, visualize Swamiji, and place your hands on the mat next to your body with the palms facing upwards. Roll up your tongue, inhale through the rolled up tongue in Kaka Chantra Kumbhaka, performing Yogasana 2.
उत्तानौ चरणौ कृत्वा संस्थाप्य परिजाननौ आसनौ परिसंस्थाप्य चोत्तानं करयुग्मकम्.
Next up is Urdhva Kukkutasana. Now, rotate your hands at the side, lift your entire body up as you push your hands into the ground next to your body, visualizing yourself as a rooster.
माश्चमतकौण्डिन्यं मूर्धकुक्कुटमेव च.
Next up is Siddha Haratali Asana. Bring your hands in between the legs. Place your hands flat on the mat without lifting your body up. Stay seated on the mat as you gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
प्रथम पद्मासन को करे घोड़ासन्दि माहि करितरे.
Now push your hands into the ground, lift your body up in Hamsasana as you gaze to your nose and visualize yourself as an elegant swan.
कुक्कुटासन स्थित्वा स्कन्दपर्यन्तं ऊरुनि नीत्वा.
Next up is Karmukasana. Now push your hands in between the legs, behind your body as you interlock your fingers in Parasha Mudra. Place your forehead on the ground and place your hands flat on the mat, visualizing yourself as Pinaka, Lord Shiva's bow.
प्रथम पद्मासन को करे घोड़ासन्दि माहि करितरे.
Next up is Kurmasana 2. Now sit in Padmasana and bring your arms in between the legs. Bend your elbows and hold onto the respective shoulders with your hands as you visualize yourself as a turtle with a stable body and mind to live for centuries.
बामी जंगवर दक्षिण बावा धहिनी जंगवर बामिल्यावै.
Now tuck your chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha. Keep holding onto the shoulders as you gaze to your nose and rejoice knowing you're sitting in Shiva's secret knot posture, Granthi Bhedasana.
अथ वक्षेनीलकण्ठा गन्तिपयदासनं शुभं ज्ञात्वा रुद्रोपवेक्षिप्रं सूक्ष्मवायुनिषेवनात्.
Now roll onto your back. Keep holding onto your shoulders as you gaze to your nose and embody a turtle laying on its back in Uttana Kurmasana.
कुक्कुटासनमन्दस्तं कराभ्यां नृतकन्दरं पीठं कूर्मवदुत्तानम् एतदुत्तानकूर्मकम्.
Now kick your body back up. Sit in Padmasana. As you place your hands in between the legs, place one palm flat and hold its wrist with the other hand as you lift your body up off the ground, visualizing yourself as a rooster in Pangu Kukkutasana.
कुक्कुटासनोच्चित्वा एकेन हस्तेन अन्यस्य.
Now place the other hand flat. Lift your body up while holding its wrist. Repeat Pangu Kukkutasana.
कुक्कुटासनवच्चित्वा एकेन हस्तेन अन्यस्य.
Next up is Gridasana. As you sit in Padmasana, place your elbows on the toes. Interlock your fingers in Parasha Mudra as you rest your chin on the fingers and press your thumbs against your throat. Visualize you have gone beyond all greed and covetous.
जानुर्वोरन्तरे पादौ उक्तानौ व्यक्तसंस्थौ.
Next up is Padmasana 3. Now place the backside of one palm of one hand over the other. Keep the palms facing up in your lap as you engage all three bandhas. Gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
उत्तानौ चरणौ विधाय.
Place your hands on the knees. Gaze to your nose and visualize Paramashiva in Padmasana form.
एतत् पद्मासनं कुर्यात् प्राणवायुप्रसिद्धये.
Now hold on to one big toe in Prana Mudra and rotate it round and round as you visualize yourself as Pinaka, Lord Shiva's bow. Then repeat the movement on the other side in Karmakasana 2.
अतान्यासनमावक्षे योगपूरकरक्षणात् कृत्वा पद्मासनं पाद अङ्गुष्ठजङ्घयोः स्थितम्.
Now cross the arms behind, hold on to opposite elbows, hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra as you engage all three bandhas.
कर्मुकासनमाक्षित्य उदरे पूरयेच्छुकम्.
Maintain Karmakasana 3. Keep holding onto the big toes. Raise your chest. Gaze up and visualize yourself as the action of Paramashiva's third eye, destroying anything you come across in Dridhasana.
ओर्भ्यामुपरिस्थाप्य पादयुग्मं प्रयत्नतः.
Now roll onto your back. Keep your arms crossed behind. Hold onto the big toes if you can. Keep your legs in Padmasana as you gaze to your nose. Visualize yourself as a snake. Breathe in Sahaja Kumbhaka through your nose in Nagrasana.
प्रथम पद्मासन कोटाने दो हाथ पाचाने आने.
Now free your arms and legs Pull your knees up against your chest and circle them with your hands in Parashu Mudra. Bring your chin towards the knees and squeeze your body into a ball in Kandukasana.
वेत्रासने स्थित्वा हस्तपादान् निष्कुष्य.
Now place your feet flat. Interlock your fingers behind your neck. Breathe through your nose and gaze to the nose as you visualize Swamiji in Urdhva Pavanasana.
प्रथमसूदोसैन करावे गोड़ा उबाराशे मिलावे.
Now bring your hands with upturned palms underneath your heels. Then push your hips up. Lock your throat. Breathe in Mudra Kumbhaka as you push your hips up all the way and visualize yourself as a powerful alpha ape in Markata Pitasana.
उत्तानशयनं पातले उत्तानहस्तयोः स्थापयेत्.
The next asana is Uttana Shikipitakasana. Now raise your hips up, bring your hands to the hips and your elbows bearing the weight of your body. As you straighten your legs, point the toes, gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
जिङ्गोरुबलहीनश्चेत् उत्तानश्किपीठकम्.
Next up is Narakasana. Now raise your legs up straight. Visualize yourself blissfully traversing Naraka Loka unscathed as you keep your arms flat on the mat in Narakasana.
ग्रीवाकण्डेन भूमिं विस्तम्भ.
Now bring your arms back to the lower back. Straighten your legs and slowly lower and anchor them as you keep your core engaged in Tiryan-Naukasana, visualizing yourself as a boat crossing the ocean of samsara.
नौकावत् स्थित्वा ऊर्ध्वं पादाग्रद्वयम् आम्नयेत्तर्यन्नौकासनं भवति.
Now bring your arms back to the mat. Bring your legs up. Keep them straight like a flagpole as you visualize yourself as the Kailasa flag respected across all nations in Dvajasana.
तिर्यन्नौकावद्ग्रीवा पृष्ठगोर्परैः भूमिम् अवष्टभ्यमस्तकलाकेशेन पादाग्रद्वयम् मूर्ध्वनयेद्वजासनं भवति.
Now lay down flat on your back. Keep your arms by the side of your body. Unclutch from all the movements, externally or internally, in Mritasana. Now perform the Shakti Chala Mudra. Pull the Kundalini Shakti forcefully up from Muladhara to Sahasrara Chakra. Relax. Visualize your body is dead and Swamiji is liberating you internally. Chant the japa Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
उत्तानं शववद्भूमौ शयनं तु शवासनं शवासनं श्रमहरं चित्तविश्रान्तिकारणम्.
Now slowly return to your physical body. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, your wrists and your ankles, your elbows and your knees. Pull your knees up against your chest. Rock your body from side to side and slowly return to a comfortable seated position. Congratulations, you completed the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, all 308 asanas of the sequence. We are now going to move on to the power manifestation session, so stay tuned. Manifest the Shaktis of Paramashiva now that your Kundalini has been awakened intensely through this Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama. With this, sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line, hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of your heart center. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as we chant the Purna mantra.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nityananda Paramashiva Parukarpanamastu. Om Nityanandam.
Thank you all, Nityanandam.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasada
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम्
नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गहनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nityanandam, I welcome all the participants here and viewers who are watching us live across different social media platforms and different Zoom rooms for this exciting power manifestation sessions right after the Nityananda Yoga. Let us all now get ready. We're going to manifest the power of third eye today. The first power which Swamiji has initiated all of us into this science of power manifestation. So requesting all the participants to please turn on your cameras and please get your eye bands, pen and paper, and please be seated, as now we are entering into the power manifestation. It was such a good yoga which we had for the past 3 hours, the Prathama Vinyasa Krama and the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, directly blessed by the Supreme Point of Hinduism. Now as we are all getting ready for the next 21 minutes of the intense power manifestation session, let us all make ourselves comfortable being seated. Keep your eye band steady, pen and paper, as we're going to begin the power manifestation. Now I'll be reciting the Shastra Pramana, the scriptural reference and the translation for this power manifestation, and then I'll guide you step by step for this power manifestation, how and what we're going to manifest in this first round of the power manifestation. Kapalantarmanonyasya tishthanmilitalochanaha kramena manaso dadyad lakshayed lakshamuttamam. This verse is directly revealed by Bhagavan Paramashiva himself in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 34, Dharana 11, where he himself describes about this very power manifestation, the power of third eye, ability to keep your eyes closed and see everything which is happening in and around you. Now I'll be reading the translation out of for this specific verse, and then we'll enter with the power manifestation. By fixing the mind on inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without any movement, having your eyes closed in succession, by the stability of the mind and inner space through the power of the third eye, one directly sees the ultimate goal, Lakshyam, by having vision beyond the sight that reveals any object or place, attaining the space of oneness with the source, Paramashiva himself. So this is a verse and the translation for this power manifestation. Now let us all get ready. Today we are going to see a random image, any kind of image I'll be choosing and projecting to all of you for this first round of the power manifestation. Now please put on your eye bands, please keep your eyes closed. Visualize Swamiji in our inner space. Keep your eyes closed. Please put on your eye bands. Visualize Swamiji as sitting in front of you, as Paramashiva within you, in and around you. And now start chanting the Mahavakya intensely from your navel center. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Yes, now let's begin with the power manifestation. I'm going to be projecting the image to all of you for this first round of the power manifestation. Please keep your eyes closed.
bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Yes. Now, requesting all the participants and viewers to please relax and take off your eye bands. Please open your eyes. Please open your eyes. Now let's take few minutes to please pen down everything. Please write down, or even you can type out in the Zoom chat as well, or wherever you might be watching this live power manifestation session from. Please type out your answers or write down in a pen and paper whatever Swamiji has revealed to you or your third eye has been revealing to you for this round of power manifestation. When you're writing down, please write down everything in detail. It can be colors, it can be even just an object, or even though you're able to see just a simple darkness, you're not able to see anything, please write down that as well. In a few moments, I'll be projecting the image to all of you to see what is the actual image was chosen for this round 1 of the power manifestation. Please write everything down. Yes. So now let's see what is the image which is there for all of us for this round 1 of the power manifestation. Now you can see that image which is there projected to all of us for this round 1 was, it is like a 2 different parrots which are there. It is a colorful parrots. There are color orange, green, blue and different colors as well which is there in this photograph. If you have actually manifested in this first round of the power manifestation, you can quickly go ahead and post your experience as well, that yes, you have manifested in this first round of the power manifestation. As now we are coming to the conclusion of today's power manifestation, the complete 21 minutes throughout the day today, as today's theme of the Paramashiva Home Level 3 program is we're going to continuously manifest wealth abundance in our life, and we'll be having different power manifestation segments to manifest our realities and increase the power manifestation capabilities in each one of us. Now let us all take few minutes to please go ahead onto our social media and post our experiences. Posting, and you can tag Swamiji as well if you go to the Facebook, Twitter and different social media platforms. Post your experience of this power manifestation. In a few moments, we'll be starting the next session very shortly. Stay tuned. Thank you. Nityanandam.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your 3 eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasada
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Become living strategy, living experience of all of us. I'm the Mahabharata intensely. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Shivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.